And now it is time for Monster Hunter World. We do have an open bid war where you can pick what weapon JalBagel will play with. Currently, Hammer is in the lead with quite a bit, but Charged Blade and Switch Axe can still be in the mix if you want to get your donations in towards that. You have still about 15 minutes to go if you want to get your donation in to change that outcome. But for now, JalBagel, the floor is yours. Take it away.
Thank you so much, and good morning, everybody. My name is JalBagel, and I'm joined with GJG98. Say hi, Gig.
Hello, hello.
We're doing Monster Hunter World, so we're gonna get this thing started because it takes a while. The no add-ons incentive was met. Thank you guys so much. This makes the run a lot more fun, a lot more dangerous. I might die, so it should be fun. Let's get it going though, because there's a lot of cutscenes, there's a lot of waiting, and I can talk about stuff then. So I'm ready with a countdown. Okay, in 3, 2, 1, go. So this is Monster Hunter World. If you've ever seen one of these games before, it is fighting monsters with big weapons, right? It's all just a really simple game. Find monster, beat it, and use its parts to make more weapon and armor. We're doing a category that is called no add-ons, which means we are not allowed to use the speedrun gear. About the time that Iceborne was coming out, the DLC for this game, they released a armor set that's called Defender. That gives you a lot of health, a lot of protections. It's a super comfy set. And then they also released weapons that are end game weapons, but you get to use them in the beginning of the game. So it trivializes the speed run. We're not allowed to use that because you all are so amazing. You guys raised all that money. I went to bed last night and I'm like, it's already so close. So I am above and beyond grateful that you guys actually met that, so I get to show off the true speed run. So because we can't use the gear given to us by the game, I have to farm for equipment. So I'll be kind of gathering and checking my materials to see what weapons I can actually upgrade into. A little thing about this speedrun too is that we're doing the Zora 2 category. It's a partial any percent category. It's about 50% of the game. It's a speedrun of a section of the game called low rank. There's low rank, there's high rank, there's master rank. We're doing low rank. It's fast. Hunts will be quick as long as I do well, and especially if Hammer stays in the lead too, because that's a weapon I really know how to use in no add-ons. But yeah, a lot of the speedrun is mostly based on understanding the monster's behavior in combat, understanding the weapon and how to fight with it, and just having optimal movement. There's really no like glitches or skips in this game. It all just kind of comes down to precise play.
So Bagel, how much of a difference do the different weapons make?
All weapons are not equal. Some weapons are a lot faster than others, especially in the any percent category. But the 3 weapons that are up for bid now are pretty much all the same, I would say, with the exception of Switch Axe, because that's the one I know how to use. And that's the one I grinded world record with. Or I grinded world record with. So this is Zora Madras, the beginning of the game. Pretty much this entire game is about Zora Madras wrecked your boat, and we're trying to get a summons to get our boat fixed. And so the entire game, we just kind of hunt him down to get our insurance claim. Because I mean, like, look, he trashed our boat. That's kind of messed up. We were going on this big long trip to our new house, and they ruined it. My cat has already climbed on top of my desk onto my computer. How are you like this?
He works in special ways. But Bagel,
why are you like this?
What language are they speaking?
They're speaking a fake language called the Monster Hunter language. Sorry, I'm distracted by the cat now because he's done this before and he's chewed through a cable and killed a stream. So I'm watching him now. Don't do anything bad. Oh, he's getting down. Oh my goodness. He got down on his own. He's learning.
Is there a reason you use the Monster Hunter language?
Yeah, it's about 40 seconds faster in the full game category. But a lot of the waiting in this game is pre-scripted out. It turns out that the only thing that changes is in dialogue scenes where we can't skip the the text. So we found that using the Monster Hunter language actually progresses those unskippable text sequences faster. So all this right here is just optimal movement, just climbing and not getting hit by this bird because he's a jerk. And he has a random spawn location, which means either he can hit you or can't hit you. But we are coming up to the end of this part of what we call Zora 0, which is just Zora Madras doing absolutely nothing. Do a neat little movement here. We can dodge on slopes to get a slide immediately. It's just a little bit faster. There we go. On to the next part of the quote-unquote tutorial. But yeah, like all the different weapons of this game, they're weighed differently. We have leaderboards set up for the weapons individually and overall, so you can compare them all together. But technically, the weapons hold their own records. So hammer isn't necessarily comparable to switch axe, and charge blade isn't comparable to gun lance. Right, but there's 14 different weapons in this game, 15 categories, one for each weapon, and then the multi-weapon category. You can use more than one. That is speedrun viable, it's just a different category. And then, yeah, I remember, I don't know what the estimate on screen says.
It's at 245.
Still says 245. I'll try to do that. So I remember it was supposed to be extended for the add-ons category. But it should only be like 3 hours, so we'll see.
So we were talking about how the run is much more difficult. How much more difficult is it exactly?
So the defender gear is incredibly comfortable. It increases the amount of health that you have and has a skill on it. It's called Divine Blessing that says when you get hit, you don't. There's a random chance that you just don't get hit. It's like a 20% chance that the attack that just hit you deals decreased damage, which is, you know, comfy. We don't get to use that because we're not allowed to use that defender gear. So now it's if we get hit, we just die. So I'm going to hope that doesn't happen. So this is the beginning of the game. This is the first area that we are introduced to. It's called the Ancient Forest. We'll spend a lot of time here. But the kind of neat thing about this game when it came out, previously the game worked on an idea of transition screens. So every time you would want to enter a new area, the game would load another area and you'd load into it. So this game was unique in the fact that it made one continuous map, which kind of changes like how we approach the game and what we have to do to stop monsters from leaving. The other thing that this game introduced is stealth, which I think is really funny. They're like, hey, you know what our Monster Hunter game needs is a stealth gimmick, which is never used in the game. This is the only place that you absolutely have to use it, and then outside of that, we never do. Is Hammer? I'm assuming Hammer is still in the lead.
Let's take a look, and yes, Hammer is still quite a bit ahead.
Quite a bit ahead, but not impossible. You guys can still vote on the. You guys can still donate towards the weapon bid war up until I hang out with Matt Mercer here in a little bit. Don't worry, it'll make sense.
So
yeah, Charge Blade is second right now. So if that's something you want to see, you can get your donations in for that.
So since this run is no add-ons, how much RNG is in this run?
Every hunt is RNG now. So. With the defender gear, I kid you not, it trivializes the speedrun like immensely because we don't have to grind for any equipment. We don't have to look for any materials in particular. All we have to do is just play the game. The assigned missions, which are the only quests that we're going to do in this game, they guarantee you the drop that you need to upgrade the defender weapon So there's no RNG outside of one like 90% a chance for some materials that we need. But here, every single hunt, I'm going to be checking material quickly, just looking at it to see what I have. I'm going to be keeping count of the materials that I have, so I know what upgrades I need. This entire section is scripted out. I almost forget that it happens sometimes, but we just have to meet certain triggers and certain text triggers so we can progress this area. But it's teaching you about the new track system, about stealthing, and showing off the fact that there aren't any loading zones between areas. It's great.
So could now be a good time for a donation?
Of course, anytime's a good time.
All right, awesome, because we got $20 from DJ Johnny saying, "You got this, Mr. Speedy. You gotta go, fams." Much love, my friend.
Thank you so much, Johnny. Thank you, Johnny. Yeah, thank you guys too for hanging out early in the morning with us. I know for some people this was like, their West Coast time, so it's bad time in the morning.
4:30 to be precise.
Thank you, Gig, for being here.
You're welcome.
So this is one of the first monsters that we'll fight, just not right now. It's called Great Joggers. But he's going to get distracted by another bigger, angrier lizard. Jurassic Park reject. And that is the tutorial, quote unquote. Now we have the weapon tutorial. What's always really funny about this game is like, because there's so many cutscenes and like automated sequences, the first like true reset point in this game isn't until 25 minutes in, which is hilarious. Because I see some people doing runs and they're like, yeah, my reset's like within like the first couple of frames, like, if I just don't get this frame perfect jump at the beginning, or like, yeah, like the first couple of minutes, like if I don't do like this trick perfectly, and I'm like, if I just don't get RNG 30 minutes in, I have to reset.
What's the latest into a run that you'd reset?
An hour, hour and a half. There's actually a bunch of RNG in this game that can speed you up or slow you down, especially in no add-ons. But since it's a marathon run, we aren't going to be resetting for RNG, and instead I'm just going to be painfully, silently complaining about it in my head. Because the idea here is that we're going to have to, in this first quest, farm a bunch of bone material to be able to make our first upgrade. And if we miss that, then we never get it again. So I'm hoping that that we do.
Can I just say your character's hair is just really fantastic?
It's fabulous, isn't it? The teal pompadour has been an ongoing meme in my community. Because I almost got a world record with it, so I said, oh, well, the ultimate manipulation is just use teal pompadour. If you use teal pompadour, you always PB. And that's technically true, because I always use it.
Love it.
Yeah, basically, whenever we see him not with teal pomp, it's a cursed run. It's just how it is.
I used green the other day, and I missed sub 4 hour. I missed the second sub 4 hour run.
The
just
other bad luck thing is Downy Crakes, believe it or not.
Yep, the perfect, adorable little white ball of fluff. It's like the most adorable little creature in this game, and if you see it, it's such bad luck. It's just superstition at that point. So this is the game introducing us to the main hub area. This is called the Stera. We'll be here for about half of the game, and then they're going to introduce to us a new area that is called the Research Base, which is infinitely better, and we'll only go there from now on. This character is the field team leader, aka Matt Mercer, because he's voiced by Matt Mercer, and we just call him Matt. But this is just the game teaching us. Yeah, we don't hear Matt anymore, no, because we don't run in English. We run it in Monster Hunter language now. But it's just the game teaching us, like, hey, this is Astera, which, I mean, this place is really cool. I love this place. But it's showing us the layout of this place and how to use it and what all the facilities are. But we have to do this scripted walk with Matt. So the idea here is that we're just trying to make sure that we stay as far ahead of him as possible. But like I said, like the first 20 minutes of this game is just optimized walking.
Yeah. Bagel's actually already done some optimized walking at the start. You notice he went right around the boxes and stuff. That's so he can actually get ahead of Matt, because normally when you're near him, he sets you at a certain walk speed.
Yep.
And you can't pass him, but when you run around like that, you can get a little ahead of him.
And I'm about to abuse that. I'm about to abuse that here too. This is called Matt Skip or Mercer Skip. But we're gonna abuse this idea that he has this radius around him that forces us to walk. We're gonna run into this corner to get as far away from him as possible, which will allow us to run again, and then we'll be able to run across this bridge and trigger the next cutscene faster.
Yep.
A lot of this is just running to the next cutscene. But that is, it's an easy trick. It's also easy to mess up.
And it stays around 20 seconds, I believe, right?
Yeah, it's about 20 seconds.
Yeah. Literally just walking to that box and not having to be stuck behind Matt.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to assume Hammer is winning, so I'm going to ask now that the bid war be closed.
Hammer is indeed winning, yes, although we did just get $20 from Yami Carol123 saying, "So proud of you, Bagel. Good luck on the run. We West Coasters are cheering you on."
Thank you, Yami. So just more optimized mashing. This is one of those text clears that you actually can't clear because it's a scripted part. And because we're using the Monster Hunter language, it's a second or two shorter than it is in English or any other language. So we get to just mash through it. But it's actually really funny. This game is 4 years old now, which is hilarious to me. And we're just now using strategies that employ optimized language.
So, Bagel, why don't we perchance say mod out cutscenes? Or
because we can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've actually been trying for 3 years now to mod out the cutscenes, to make a modded version of this game to where we don't use cutscenes, because it is a grueling thing. About 2 years in, I developed Stockholm Syndrome to it and decided that I no longer cared and appreciated the bathroom break. That's the lie I tell myself to get over the 4-hour speedrun, 5-hour speedrun. But yeah, we actually, there it is. We actually can't take out the cutscenes because it breaks the game's logic. It's neat how they programmed this, but it's kind of dumb. The cutscenes take place in the game's engine. So when we take out the cutscenes, the game no longer has markers to tell them where to load in monsters or models. So without that cutscene, that model or monster doesn't load in, and then the quest can't progress. Then the game is broken. So this is the first quest, Joggers of the Ancient Forest. We're going to go beat up these green lizards and then harvest their body parts to make better hammer. This is the introductory quest. This is how you use your weapon. Hopefully it goes by quickly. We get good monster placement. Hammer is a slow weapon for this quest. Before the Defender gear existed, there was a strategy with the multi-weapon category where we would use Charge Blade in this quest because it's the fastest weapon to clear these guys, and then switch to whatever weapon you wanted to use. But since we are doing specifically Hammer, we're going to use Hammer all the way through.
So even though we don't ever touch Iceborne, we do have the Iceborne DLC installed, which means a few extra things for us. We have abilities to use the Clutch Claw, as well as the new Clutch Claw based moves of Hammer. And
really good.
Yeah, so you'll be seeing those used later as well.
So I'm going to do a little strategy here that's called Torch Pod strategy. This is a new mechanic to this game too. We have this little device called a slinger, which allows us to shoot like rocks and stuff. Effectively, what the Torch Pod does is that, wow, that was actually a really good clear. When it's shot at the ground, it creates a little bonfire. Killing 2 Joggers out there we'll get them into a sequence that makes them escape into this room. And then they will run into those torch pods and they will die. And there's the last one that died. So I can start doing my gathering while they're dying. And then the end of the quest is just dependent on that. No ancient bone yet. So I'm doing gathering now. That's going to help me throughout the run. Specifically, I'm going to bone piles to get ancient bone. I can get some from the quest rewards, but it is random. And I don't want to leave that up to chance. So I am going and grabbing them. Other things that I just grabbed there are flash bugs. They essentially are a flashbang in this game. It stuns the monster for a second, stops them from moving. If it's a flying monster, they fall out of the air. Wow, 6 monster bone. Okay. So I need quest rewards to give me ancient bone, and then I'll have another chance at those as well on the next 2 quests.
What do you?
That's not great RNG.
Yeah. Was the ancient bone would be used to make the bone chest, which is notable.
Yeah. It's also a weapon upgrade in this category.
Yeah, but it is notable also though because it has attack up 1.
Yeah, and then whatever we can get to eke out just like a little bit of damage. I got 1 ancient bone. Okay, so I can't actually do any upgrades. I have to hold that. I need at least 2 ancient bones, which I might be able to get here next. But that's fine. You know, we prepare for this, and by prepare I mean just mentally, because it's possible to do it without this stuff. It's just not easy. Ideally, I want 4 ancient bones, but 1's good. At least we get a weapon upgrade. This is the Smithy, so this is where we get to do all of our crafting, and this is where we're gonna do some crafting right now. I'm gonna do 2 things. Or actually, no, I'm only gonna do 1 thing. I'm gonna make a weapon because I can only do 1 thing. But I'm gonna make that weapon. Ooh, not that one. There we go. I'm gonna make that weapon, and then I'm going to equip it, and then I'm going to upgrade it. So we're gonna equip that. Because we can just go right into the next upgrade. And then you saw, I don't know, maybe you saw it there, but the next upgrade takes 1 ancient bone. And we have 1 right now. So if I get another one from the next couple of quests, which the next 2 quests can give it to me. Yeah, next 2 quests can give them to me. I'll be able to actually get the things that are comfortable. If I end up getting a bunch of extra ancient bones, 3 more, I'll be able to make the bone helmet, which gives me a level of health boost, which means I have more health. And then the armor, just as you upgrade it, has more defense, so it's just a little more comfy. I don't need it to go fast. I do need it to survive.
Which again,
so this is... Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, which again, because he doesn't have Defender gear, dying is very easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And every time you cart, each quest gives you like 3 lives. Essentially, 3 carts are what we call them, because the cats in this game bring you back on like a little trolley, on a little like hand cart, and they dump you back off at the camp. So we get 3 carts per quest. Depending on which quest, it loses like anywhere between 30 seconds to a minute.
Depending on how far from how far the monster from the camp is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So these are Kestodon. Killing them with hammer is not easy. Because I want to hit the back of them, not the front of them. Okay. Because their heads are hard and we bounce off of them and they don't take a lot of damage. A cool thing about this game is that different parts of the monster take different amounts of damage. Game works on a principle it's called hit zone values. Effectively, if you hit a head, it has a different modifier that determines damage versus like the arm or the back or the tail. The hammer is the bonk weapon. The bonk weapon likes the head. So we're going to aim for the head on most things.
Do you have a moment for some encouraging words?
I do.
Awesome, because we got $20 from Taka saying, "Let's go, Bagel," with a bunch of exclamation points and hearts. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much, Taka. Alright, so these things are almost dead. And I'm going to do a little safety thing here. I'm going to carve them. Because we got bad RNG. This is just kind of a safety thing. I'm trying to get not a scalp. There it is, the shell. I think I need one more. Yep. All right, there we go. That'll help me make a the arm piece for this monster, which gives me a skill called Affinity Sliding. When I slide down a slope, I get increased affinity, and in this game, affinity is crit chance. So higher affinity, higher crit chance, more crit, more damage. It's a small thing, but...
Don't you normally sharpen after you kill the Kestodons?
You know, I sure do.
I know you've been doing a lot of Defender lately, but...
Yeah, and I can't do it now because now I'm on a timer. What am I at? I have enough. It's plenty. So this Joggers is going to a specific area right now. I am going to route through this unintelligible forest to gather some materials, to meet it there, and then as I meet it there, drop some rocks on its head. There are some things in this game that do fixed damage. One of them is environmental traps. Environmental traps always do 5% of a monster's damage. If the monster's asleep, they take double damage, so it'll do 10%. I'll actually use that later. But here, we're going to drop some rocks on it. That's going to do 5% of the monster's health. Then it leaves us about like 20 seconds of the monster just flailing around on the ground, and we get to beat it up while that's happening. Hammer does a damage type that is called KO, stun. Stun damage can knock a monster out. 1, 2, 3. So like I said, each part of the monster takes different types of damage. I want to make sure that all of my hits land in the head here. Go to sleep. Turn around, and we do our big DPS, the big bang combo. Let's see, that one landed into the arm. I'm not really happy about that. 1, 2.
So here we see the first instance of also using the Clutch Claw, which is integrated to the handle combos. When you use an attack, like clutch onto monster and attack, it does a thing called Tenderize. Tenderizing, well, it makes that spot that you hit softer, which means if it's like a tough spot, it actually becomes weaker to hit, and it does more damage.
Alright. So, that's actually not bad. Oh god, I had orange sharpness. That's actually not bad, though. Especially for no add-ons and for getting too sharpened. So, whenever a monster dies, we end up with an end quest timer. When a monster is killed, that quest timer is 60 seconds. However, we can shorten that. Because like 60 seconds, that's a whole minute. That takes a lot of time, and we don't want to do that every time. But when we have to, we take advantage of it. This is one of those quests where we have to. So I'm doing some gathering to set me up to start capturing monsters. A monster can be captured when they are under 30% health. Well, actually, I'm going to be quiet because this menu is, whoops, kind of hard.
The only reason we can't cap Great Joggers himself is right now we don't have trap tools, which are needed to make the traps in the first place, and to go out of the way to get all the materials you need to get trank bombs, which is the things you need to use on the monster to trap them along with the trap itself, is out of the way and not quick to get.
Yep. And so a monster has to be at 30% health to be captured. That's usually indicated by limping, which was what the Great Joggers was doing when it was trying to escape from me. But that red like rock thing that I picked up, it's called a powerful slinger. The monsters drop those when they're at specific health thresholds. A monster will drop the second pod exactly at 30%, with one exception to the entire run. Now, that being said, as I'm damaging the monsters, I'm looking for that second red rock to drop, that second pod to drop, and then I will go for a capture, which consists of putting down a trap tool, in our case, mostly shock traps, and then using tranquilizers, you have to use 2 of them. So a lot of the routing of this game is designed around how many monsters am I capturing, and when can I gather these materials.
Is now a good time for a couple of donations?
Yes, now is a fantastic time.
All right, awesome. We got $10 from Kid Venison. No message on this one, but thank you so much regardless. And then we also got $20 from Barforama saying, can you please ask Jal to demonstrate a cart because it's the best part of Monster Hunter World. On a serious note, good luck, Jal, and hopefully no pink Barney while doing Spitty Burb.
Oh my gosh. That's like one of the worst pieces of RNG. Thank you so much, Barb. Yeah. Oh, I got one more ancient bone. Let's go. So I'm actually about to go do. Next is Kuliaku. So I'll do Kuliaku without doing my upgrade, and then I'll do an upgrade before Puke. That sounds good. A lot of the no add-ons category is kind of like working with the RNG that you get and changing and kind of adjusting to where you are at in the run so you can do things a little more optimally. Since we're going nowhere near the Smithy right now, I don't want to do an upgrade yet, even though I have the materials to do it. Because it'd be kind of a time loss to run out of our way, and we really won't save the time that we lost by doing that. So we just don't do it. So I just went to essentially the shop there, Provisions Manager, to buy trap tools, which are what are used to make, which are used to make traps. And large barrels, which will become explosives, which we'll actually use on not this quest, not next quest, but the following quest. But this is a new type of mission in the game. These are called expeditions, where you can just go into the quest and you have no like target or anything like that. You don't have a limited number of carts. You can just kind of like come out here and hunt whatever randomly spawns in the area. This, however, is a scripted part of the game where we have to go and unlock a specific camp. So all we're going to do is just kind of run to that camp as fast as we can. Looking at my stamina. Kind of like if you ever seen like a Dark Souls speedrun, stamina management is a big part of like your movement through there. And Dark Souls, like it's a huge part because you're always like running through the game and never slowing down. There's some stamina management to moving through this game. You see I'm hovering an item that's called a ration. That'll reset my stamina and also increase the cap. And then I picked up a bug and ate it. That thing's called a wiggly lychee. It reduces my stamina depletion by half. So it helps me get here without using any resources at all. And then I can use ledges and jumping to refresh my stamina too. So like you saw, I ran over like a big stump and a big rock. That refreshes my stamina.
Mm-hmm. Another thing to note, unlike Dark Souls, though, attacking does not eat up stamina. For the most part.
Depending on the weapon, but for hammer it doesn't. But like if you're holding a charged attack, it'll start consuming stamina. It's not like an always you attacked, therefore you use stamina. Yeah. But some attacks and some combos do use stamina. Some weapons constantly use stamina. So stamina management is it can be a thing, but it's mostly a thing when running. Funny thing, the defender gear has a skill on it that reduces that increases the stamina recovery rate, or is it the reduces? It's a marathon runner. Yeah, it reduces the use of stamina when running specifically. It's so funny how just designed the defender gear is for speed running. So I'm gathering 2 thunderbugs up here. The thunderbugs plus the trap tools make our shock traps, and that's like the last thing that we need to capture monsters. So I'm actually going to capture this guy here. This is Kuliaku. We flash him, and then he never gets to move again.
Mm-hmm. Ideally, from this point forward, we don't kill another monster. We should be trapping every single one. Because not only do we not have to bring their health down to 0, but it also saves 40 seconds on the quest end timer.
Which, when you have a bunch of missions, that really saves time.
Mm-hmm.
I want him to drop this rock. There we go. So I'm watching the monster to see if it drops one of these. There's the first one. So this is a capture. I'm going to put that down. I hit it with 2 trank bombs, and the monster is captured. This is an expedition. Since it was an expedition, there's no end quest timer. So we've actually been like kind of thinking about, what if we just kill it here instead? How much time does that actually save? Viable strategy with the defender gear, but without it, it makes it a lot harder. Kuliaku is a weird monster, though. It didn't drop 2 pods, and I still captured it. It's because pod dropping isn't an exact science. It's a really weird thing and doesn't always work. So you might see me like capture before the second pod, but that's just kind of, you know, me using my experience.
Yeah, it's just feeling it out. Like, he knows how much damage he's done and how much the monster has in terms of health. So,
yep.
Yeah.
The next fight is Pookie Pookie. Yeah, that's right. I said I was going to do my upgrade here, so I'm going to accept the quest. Ooh, actually, you know what? No, I'm going to wait till after, because if I get the 2 medium monster bones, I'll have to do another routing, so I'm going to do it afterwards.
So
the Pookie Pookie can give me the medium monster bones, and I need 2 for the next weapon upgrade, so I'll just wait till then. It's actually the better time to do it anyways.
So when you're playing casually, monsters can have a variance in health. They have like very weak to very tough, and so, you know, monster health isn't consistent. However, when you are doing a side quest like these, the monsters actually have not only fixed sizes but fixed health as well.
Yeah, everything is so consistent. If you ever enter an assigned mission a second time, they start to have variance. But on the first mission, the first assigned mission that you go on, it has fixed health. So we're gonna do a little opening script here where I lure this Pookie Pookie over, check to see if there's an Anjanath here. There isn't, thank goodness. Barfarama gave us the good luck there. Thank you so much, Bar. And now, now we're just gonna beat this thing up.
If Anjanath were to show up, the big pink dinosaur we saw before, just further down the path, there's a pile of dung, and you can pick that up and fire it at monsters, and it will get them to go away, essentially.
Hopefully. That's how it's supposed to work.
Yeah.
So I am poisoned, which is scary. Oh, I'm no longer poisoned. 1, 2, I'm poisoned again. Send help. So this animation, we call it a clogger. That stands for claw stagger. It's specifically designed for the clutch claw.
And so
because it only happens when the clutch claw is, you know, or when it happens, the monster can be clutch clawed, and it's a free opening for the clutch claw. But the monster will just stand still and won't do anything for a few seconds, and it gives us a huge opening with a lot of weapons.
Also, if you clutch onto the monster when it does that, it adds, or it gives you 4 more seconds of stagger on the monster, compared to if you just let it sit there. So if you see that claw animation, if you wait like 3 seconds and then claw onto it, you get another 4 seconds of stagger.
Need to be careful here. I'm at first pod. Oh, I'm at second pod. There we go. Please don't move. Thank you so much. And a 1. And a 2. So you saw that time 2 red rocks on the ground. That means it's ready to capture. That rule isn't always true, because using the clutch claw attack, like when you get onto a monster and use the weapon attack, can drop a pod with certain weapons. We call those light weapons. So when using a light weapon, you gotta like keep track, you know, like, oh, I dropped 2 pods with my dual blades, so you know not to count those. So you'll hear me say like count as 0, count as 1, count as 2. It's because I'm counting those. I saw 1 monster bone. I didn't think I saw 2.
There's one other exception to this in the run. It's a monster called Giratotus. He drops pods a little differently. His second pod, when he drops it, he's not actually ready to capture. You still have to do a little bit of extra as well.
He drops a third pod at 32%. That's not 30%, which means it can't be captured yet. So we're about to do the best kind of quest. If you have donations, this is a great time to do it, because all this is gathering and stuff, which I'll explain a little bit of it, but the majority is, you know, inconsequential. Forge equipment, armor.
Yeah.
So I have 3 of these. I can do this.
The best kind of quest is, funnily enough, an escort
Literally,
quest.
literally the worst kind of quest. Oh,
They knew
Custodon.
what
I
they
missed
were
the
doing.
Custodon shell by 1. Cool.
They knew
before
what they were
transport,
doing when they named that
surge.
quest. They knew.
All right, we're going to take these for level of Slugger. And... Cool. I actually got the upgrade. We're also going to give our cat a weapon. He's going to get the... No, he's not. We didn't get a Pookie Sack. All right, cool. Great RNG. Marathon luck. Never mind. He gets nothing. But poison is a status in the game. The monsters have a threshold that, as you deal poison damage, it builds up a threshold. When the threshold is met, they are afflicted by the status. Poison is really good because poison does % health damage, so it always do like a fixed amount of health to the monster, which is huge boon when your monster has like 10,000 health.
Yeah, unfortunately, he did not get the RNG, which is actually pretty unlucky to get the
Yeah, especially with no add-ons. Because,
Yeah.
like, especially when I get to something like Diablos and Rathalos, like, they're just going to have a lot of health.
So, as Bagel said before, this is mainly going to be a gathering quest where he's going to grab most of the materials he needs for the rest of the run. As we have to wait for the handler and the scholars to push this cart all the way to its destination. We don't actually need to follow the cart at all. They will just progress on their own, although we do have to hit certain triggers we have to be near the cart for.
Yeah, there's 3 cutscene triggers that we need to be in the area for to make sure that this progresses as fast as possible. The last one being the cutscene trigger for the actual quest. I'm going to try... Well... No, I should still do Demon Powder, at least. I've been playing around with new routing, but I think I need to stick with Demon Powder. So I'm gathering items that are called Might Seeds. Might Seeds are a temporary timed buff for the hunt. It is plus 10 raw for 3 minutes. So raw is just the type of damage, like it's just plus 10 damage for 3 minutes. That can be stacked with a Demon Powder, which does the exact same thing, but then also spreads it to your teammates. So we can stack a kind of large attack bonus onto ourselves, and we can do that before a cutscene, so we have it when we come out of the cutscene. Now here, I will be doing some... I won't... No, yeah, I'll do it still. Because I could use the iron. I'm actually not going to go... So if I was doing a full run, which I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, and I'll mention it now. If I was doing a full run, I would try to get a rare drop here, but I don't need it since I'm not going into high rank. This is a partial any % category, so it's halfway through the run. We have 3 categories for it. So Zora 1, which we haven't gotten to yet, but I'll point it out when we do. Zora 2, which is what we're going to today, and that's the end of low rank. It's the first high rank quest. And then Xenojiva, which is the final monster of the game. Spoilers. Imagine spoilers at a speedrunning marathon. How could they? But that's the full like any % category of this game is Xenojiva. It takes on average about 5 hours to do without add-ons. So this is the first cutscene trigger. We just have to make sure that we were here when they got here, and it progresses on as fast as possible. And now that they're moving, we keep going and doing more gathering. So we have our second trigger coming up very shortly, though. So we're just gonna get some IV up here. This IV makes nets. So we have a second kind of trap called a pitfall trap, which makes this next quest. This quest here easier, which, I'll have 3 pitfall traps. Because I use the other 3 in high rank. I don't even use them in low rank.
So as Finn pointed out, there is another category for the DLC only called Shire %, which is the end of the DLC called Iceborne, and is also very long.
11 hours on average. Well, 11 hours. I can't even say that. It's 11 hours for me. Record right now is 10:36. It needs to be verified. 10 hours, 36 minutes. And then, I mean, on average, it takes me 12 hours to finish a run. Oop, nope. We're doing add-ons. We have to go and find the bone. Oh, I didn't get a lucky cat either. Dang. Just noticing how bad my RNG was. There's another. You can get like a cat here that can also help you gather. We need a lot of boulder bone. Actually, I don't. I only need 4 boulder bone. We can get them from this quest and the next quest, and then also from these bone piles. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to signal the cat to come stand next to this thing, and hopefully it gathers. It doesn't. It's just not doing it. Oh, it did gather. Okay, good. We're going to ping it again. Come on, gather. It says 1 boulder bone.
The run for
one.
DLC is Shar %, literally named after the monster, or Opinion of Guidance, which is the name of the quest.
Okay, so we only got 1 there. I need 3 more from, like, quest, and then maybe more gathering later. Be good on all that, too. I'm grabbing that again. I missed one the last run that I did. I'm not leaving it to chance. I only need 9 fire herbs. That's only 3 pickups, because each pickup gives you 3 of them. But the last run that I did, I apparently didn't pick one up, so now I'm scared.
The entire time Vale has been doing this this gathering. The researchers have been talking about how they want you to protect them from the Rathian. You don't really need to.
Nope.
They figure it out.
That's not even a suggestion. They walk through it themselves, and they figure it out, and they go on their merry way. So more sleep herb, more of these god bugs to make our demon powder. Remember, those are our attack boosting bugs. Well, bugs, seeds. Another wiggly leechy, so I can run through here a little bit easier. More sleep herb, more perish room. This will give us pretty much all the materials that we need, though, to get to the end of Zora 1, and then we'll do another kind of smaller sequence where we gather more materials, more trap materials, when we get to a place called the Rotten Vale, which will be about halfway through this run. Yep, I'm making my explosives there, my gunpowder for bombs. Those are all the nitro shrooms that I need now. Yep, okay, good. I have 6 of those, 4 fire herb left. That's how many I need. No, I want to make sure I make this, because this is already tight as it is. I'm waiting for a certain... Yeah, I'm waiting for a certain audio trigger, too. It'll pop up on the side, because I don't know what it sounds like in the monster language, but I'll have to start counting. So if you just hear me start counting, you know why.
Yeah, this is... we're about to start the quest proper now. And Bagel's putting up these bombs and pitfall traps right now.
2, 3, 4... 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Yeah. So Bagel puts those bombs and traps up there ahead of time, because even though they're not here during the cutscene, actually the cutscene disappears, they are magically going to reappear right under the monster's feet.
It's magic! Yeah, so it's exactly 15 seconds for that for the trigger to activate. So I count down and use my buffs because they are on a timer. It's 3 minutes, but that timer is paused during the cutscene, so it gives me full use of it for this entire hunt. It'll take less than 3 minutes to hunt this thing. Hopefully, if I am good. But. Hopefully this all goes well. Barroth is a really weird monster to fight, especially with hammer, because the number 1 rule about hammer is hit the head, but its head isn't a weak zone. Its hands are. So I have to aim for these really, really tiny hands between his very large legs and his very large head, and aiming the clutch claw attack, which like you'll see me do. It's like I throw out like the wire and I grab the monster and then I like spin to them. Aiming that isn't easy.
Especially because the hammer itself likes to track to the head.
So... Oh, look at that! A trap! Oh, look, he exploded. 1, 2, 3. Hey, look at that. I tracked to the head. Oh, wait, no. I tracked to the hand. I just went to the other side. And dodge that.
The Clutch Claw is very, very interesting sometimes in what it grabs and what it doesn't.
I go for my Big Bang combo here, but like Gig said, this weapon has something called head tracking, where the hits don't like to hit anything else other than the head. That was a mount. Mounts are slow. Asterisk, not for Switch Axe. Logger.
And the reason it's not slow for Switch Axe is because its mounted finisher is very strong.
It's main DPS, yeah.
Yeah.
It's its main DPS attack. Another KO.
You just get mounts by simply doing any aerial attack, which Hammer has a really actually good aerial attack.
Which is why I keep using it. Oh my god, that hitbox. So this game has iframes in it, you know, just like any other kind of like fighting-based game. Wow, that cat healed me and it completely missed.
Yeah, so any roll has some iframes in the middle of it.
First pod, logger.
However, the iframes are actually very short.
Yeah, it's under a quarter second. It's like 0.16. We're gonna do the safety thing here. Flash it.
That being said, even with those iframes, you can dodge an iframe attacks.
Slow it down. Oh my goodness, just hit. So, yeah, like you'll see that he was limping there and leaving. He was going to his nest. And we don't want him to do that. Monsters can also just, like, walk directly out of the traps even while you're, like, placing them. You can put it, like, directly underneath it and it'll still just walk out of it. So the trap doesn't activate until a little bit after. So we do a little safety thing where we flash the monster, stop it from moving, and then capturing it. That was actually a really good... a really good Baroth.
Do we have time for some
It's
donations?
Oh yeah, go for it. We have the second longest cutscene in the game.
Well, awesome. Because we got $10 from Anonymous saying, the bagel bites are here to cheer you on. And then we also got $6.11 from Midnight Vesper saying, just fixing the donation palindrome. Thank you so much to you both for those donations.
Yeah, so just more unskippable cutscene. It's what makes this game great. I legitimately mean it. It's nice because you can just like get up, you can go get a drink. Like, how many speedruns can you actually do that, right? Unskippable cutscene that no one can mod out because the developers are geniuses. You got to deal with it. Get up, get a drink, have a snack, make a phone call, go to the grocery store.
Go to school, get a degree. Come back.
I mean, you could go get a college degree during all these cutscenes.
Yeah.
So the next hunt is the one that Gig was talking about earlier, which is Geratotus. Geratotus is a Piscine wyvern, a fish wyvern, a fish. It's awful. For two reasons. One, it doesn't drop a third pod until 32% health, which is terrible because it's inaccurate. We can see the third pod drop, we can go for the capture, and then it won't work. So we panic. The other part of it is that the area that it fights in is a swamp. You can't place traps in water. You have to find land to place a trap. So not only do I have to pay attention to the number of pods that drops and like count out my damage and be thinking about my damage, I also have to control where the monster is and make sure that it is in a place that I can actually capture it. And that is not an easy thing to do. Because it can just like sit in the water and like, get mud on itself and just kind of shoot mud balls at you from afar, and it just doesn't want to play the game. It just wants to, hang out and chill. It's annoying.
But we don't actually see this guy for the rest of the run again. He kind of just shows up,
No.
foreshadows something, and then leaves, and then we never see him again.
Yep. He literally says, "I'll see you again at the end of all of this." It literally just tells you, "I'll see you at the end of the game," and then you just never see him until the end. All right. So we're going to check materials here. I want more boulder bone. I did not get more boulder bone Monka S.
You're getting great RNG.
I am getting the best RNG. And by the best, I mean the absolute worst. Giratotus can give me some, and I have two bone piles that I can gather here. We have to re-up on trap tools, bombs, and then we're also going to buy these barrel bombs, so small barrel bombs. They're just mini explosives. A big part of learning this game is learning the track gathering routing, or excuse me, the trap gathering routing, traps and tranks. It's probably the hardest part to this speedrun, because understanding like when you go and pick that stuff up, knowing how many you have, all of that is difficult. Especially when you mess up, you have to go off script or use anything extra.
So we actually do a small little skip here. Normally the game expects you to immediately run out of camp and head towards the swamp and run across these spikes along the way, which will slow you down and stop you. However, if you fast travel to the camp here and then take a different way to the swamp, you can avoid all of the thorns. And
yeah, the thorns are story-oriented. 2 boulder bone. Only 2 boulder bone. Game, stop hating me. Yeah, there's all these little spikes that are, story centric, but we really don't care about the story, and they also slow down your movement. It also is just, it takes longer to run from, one camp to the other. So we just don't do that. So once again, using my buffs before I get here. Oops, didn't make it, but it's okay. So that while I'm in the cutscene, they don't run out. This is my absolute favorite character of the entire game. You cannot tell me otherwise. He is perfect in every way. It's because I like his voice lines in English.
Yeah, I'm sure that bear out a bunch of spikes in it. It was no big deal. We don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. So this is Geratotus, stinky fish, the worst fish ever. This has an opening script where I dodge to the left, hope for the right attack to come next, and then I can use the clutch claw to do a wall bang. I haven't done one yet, so this will be the first time I do it. It's kind of a neat little thing. It was introduced with the Iceborne DLC and the clutch claws introduction. But essentially, while you have a slinger ammo, like rocks or something like that, you can shoot them into the monster's head to send them flying forward. If it hits a wall, it does a lot of damage, 1%, so not a lot here. And it gives you an opening to attack them.
I believe you did it
this
in
way.
the Puke mission as well, but...
Oh, that's right, I did wallbang there, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to redirect it, shoot it into this wall. Just watching my stamina. 1, 2, 3. So this will drop the first pod, which I will grab. Actually, no, I'm going to grab the second one, because this is going to be a KO here anyways.
So, Giratotus drops a certain type of powerful slinger. It's called Thorn Pod. And the reason Thorn Pod is so strong is because when you shoot it, it attaches to the monster and deals a lot of KO/stun damage. I mean, it's very easy to KO the monster again.
I got bad RNG here. Has he moved? Oh, double runnies, nice. It's another KO. It's actually a decent hit. Nice little cheek. Okay. I was about to brag about my cheeky iframe. Ah, stop bullying me! So he's going to try to do an animation here where he gathers mud, but I'm going to stop him from doing that.
So as you can see, because of the Thorn Pods, we already have yet another KO. which is why thorn pods are really strong.
Okay, I'm going to grab that. That's dung pod. I need the other one. No, I'm not at enough health because it just dropped this pod. Oh wow, nice flinch. Don't worry, I'm not cheating, I promise. Alright, good. You can place it on the edge of that like little island. That was actually, I mean, that could have gone a lot worse. I was able to control it enough to keep it in actually, I'm gonna go... Oh, I do not have enough time, I should have just gone that. It's okay, though. There's a bone pile here that I could have gotten another chance at boulder bones, but I'll have another chance. No, that was actually my last one for a while.
Yeah. Normally you would, in like NoReset, you can hook across the wedge beetle there that's floating in the sky, and then, well, it's on a tree branch, but you can go over and there's some honey that you can pick up.
Yeah, I was trying to think about routing on the fly what I absolutely need here, which was boulder bones for an upgrade, but I missed them. So this is the weapon we have for the rest of the run.
I hope you like it.
It's not great.
Do we have time for a donation?
Yes, we have plenty of time.
All right, we got $5 from Anonymous saying, Bagel Bite Whooper Gang are rising up for you, JalBagel. You got this.
Whooper Gang.
Oh, God.
Thank you guys so much. So more trap tools because we need those. I'm really surprised that I haven't gotten punished for how greedy I've been with my health, though, because I was really low a couple times and didn't even bother to do anything.
Because you're a professional speedrunner.
Professional Speedy. He just gave us a new tool called the Ghillie Mantle. It effectively allows us to hide in plain sight. So we become cheaters. This will be fun, though. This is Tobi-Kadachi. Tobi-Kadachi has a really cool hammer script where I place a trap on a ledge and use the ledge to build up a KO. I get a KO, I do a big bang combo, I then get a mount, I do another big bang combo, and then it should be close to capture. I can usually get a second KO off of that. It's just not easy. So I'm gonna try to do that.
Yeah, this will either go very well and it will look amazing, or it will go horrendous and everyone will cry.
Yeah, because there's like also Tobi-Kadachi is a monster that just moves around a lot. When I played through casually, it was actually like my first big kind of wall to the game, and it's a bully. It's a big bully. I'm actually thinking about what I need to be doing here for once. I'm also going to try a different strategy too, where when we see first pod, we're going to Ghillie Mantle and then place 2 bombs. And those 2 bombs will put it in capture range. Just trying to think about how to do this again. It's been a while. Why do I always pick hammer?
Yeah, when was the last time you done the hammer script for this?
When was the last speedrun marathon I participated in? I'm pretty sure that's the last time I did it. Yeah, hammer I don't use as much. Like I said, there's 14 weapons. I've been working on getting sub 4 hour and 20-minute runs with all of the weapons. Just need his... Oh, of course, he aims the wrong way. This is doable.
So, hammer has a little ledge spam thing that you can do here, which is really cool. If you roll off, jump off the edge, and then charge your hammer back towards the ledge, you can spam the mount attack here, which also does quite a bit of damage.
Yeah, all of the attacks, their damage is based on a value called motion values. Different attacks have different amount of motion values. What's really funny is that aerial attacks have a really high motion value associated with them. But we can do them really fast, which is like what makes them so weird. Please don't have your head push me off.
So this is Bagel's first mount on the monster that he only actually did. Normally you have to sit on its back and stab it with a little small knife that does 1 damage over and over again. but there is certain types of slinger ammo, such as Scatter Nut, where if you shoot it while on its back, it staggers the monster for you, and generally makes mounts just a lot faster.
I'm playing kind of carefully here because he can just kill me. I did a turn.
So
Trying to
enough,
anticipate his movement too.
Yeah. Normally, again, the weakest spot on the monster is generally the head, but actually for this monster, it's the tail.
First pod. Dodge back. Dodge again. Oh, okay. He just shook. That was really funny, and it hit me. 1, 2. Nice. That worked. Wow. First time I did that.
Yeah, that went really well.
I'm down a trap. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right, because I'm doing a different script here. Yep. That makes perfect sense. Everything makes sense because I used the shock trap here for the setup. But yeah, that was actually a really good one. Outside of it coming out of the mount, I was supposed to get a KO there, and a lot of the hits went into the arm instead of the head. 1 ancient bone. I could make the health top head helmet.
We got there.
Brain is slowly turning to mush, but I'm not going to, not yet at least, because next is Anjanath. This fight is hard.
So this would be a lot of players' first troublesome monster in the game, especially if you don't use the Fender gear. This monster is not an easy one, especially for newer players to the series, so it can definitely be a harder monster.
It's also the worst monster type, which is called the Brute Wyvern, essentially T-Rex models. It's literally the worst model type in the entire game, because the hands are so close to the head, and you always hit the hands instead of the head. They're just awful. Plus their head's like really high up in the air. Oh yeah, Baroth, you want to hit the hands. He's the only good one. Him and Bambaro.
Who we will not see, sadly.
Sadly, we won't see the big moose. So we're gonna do a little trick here. It's called sleep bombing, but we're not gonna bomb it. Instead, we're gonna drop a gigantic rock on it.
So
anytime a monster is asleep, the next damage that is dealt to it will be doubled. Falling rocks, since it's an environmental, like I mentioned earlier, does 5% damage. So if it's asleep, it'll do 10% of its damage. 10%. 1/10 of this guy's health in just one form of CC. One form of control. And after I do that, he will be stuck on the ground for a little while, which I will tenderize the head and build up a KO threshold. Then he'll fall into a pitfall trap that I have placed perfectly. And I will continue the onslaught on this poor creature's head. Then it'll probably stand up to go to roar. So it will stand up to go to roar, but either I'll get a KO or I'll get a clagger, but I'll probably get a KO before I get a clagger. That one's going to be the weird one.
We just drop a rock on this man and he throws a dinosaur at us. And he's not happy about it. But, you know, despite that, we didn't learn our lesson. We're going to drop a second rock on him now.
So I shoot him with a scatter nut there to kind of pull his aggro. He gave me bad RNG with that attack, but now he's going to go to sleep. That's what I was looking for. I just need to place these far enough away from him that when he falls, he's inside of the trap, but he doesn't fall into the trap right now when it gets placed. Kessidon, you need to move. I need to reposition myself here. I'm not going to worry about it, because the Kessidon were all in the way there. I couldn't shoot my sleep knife, actually. That's fine. Yeah, Greenspeed was actually the one that came up with this this kind of strategy, because now he's going to fall into this.
Yeah, there's actually been...
KO. It's actually really good here.
And like I think maybe another runner or two. We've actually been getting a lot of new strats recently in the last couple of like weeks and months, which has been really nice.
So I overwrote the... Nope, no I didn't. It's right there. 1, 2. Flagger. Bonk. KO number 2, please. Let's go. Never hit those bombs, though. Oh, good. Oh, good. Okay, great. Great. Wow, that hit me. I'm gonna try something here. Uh-oh. Which is cheating, mind you. Never mind, I'm no longer gonna try it. I'm gonna shoot this into the ground. And we're gonna do... Flash spam.
Yes.
Actually get to show this off in a marathon, if it works.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. So it worked.
So this is a bit of an AI manipulation. Right now, Anjanath is wanting to go up those vines and go up to where we were fighting Tobukadachi earlier. And because he's in a transition zone, he's going to keep wanting to do that. But as he's trying to climb the vines up, you can throw a flash pod, flashing him and throwing him back onto the ground. And you can repeat this over and over again until you run out of flashes or cap him.
I want to be over here! Alright, I'm going to play it safe and... Oh, I can flash him. So usually, you could just keep doing that indefinitely. I only had to do it once because I was actually really close on that script, which makes me feel good about myself. I just want one sleep herb here, and then I'm going to go up and grab these. It's actually a really good Anjanath. We call that a 1.5 transition. Whenever a monster tries to leave, or a 0.5 transition, excuse me. Whenever a monster tries to leave, we call that a transition, because it's transitioning from zone 1 to zone 2. Getting 0 transitions is ideal. That's a 0.5 transition because it has a punish on it. I got literally every ancient bone I could ever possibly want. The game is trolling me.
You want boulder bones? No, but you got ancient bones.
No, but you have a billion ancient bones. The game loves me, man. No, we actually should be good with this hammer for the rest of the run. Because what else did I need? There's some boulder bone. I don't even remember.
So we're coming up to our favorite friend, the giant rock, otherwise known as Snoranapteros, which is a perfect time, considering how early in the morning it is for us, to take a nap.
Yep. Yep, everyone get your coffee, get your blanket, get your pillow, kind of lay down, take a nap, because it's just 17 minutes of pretty much nothing. No, okay, it's not 17 minutes. The split takes 17 minutes, right? But the hunt takes about, was it 12 and a half, Green? I can't remember. Green remembers off the top of his head. But it's the longest hunt in the game. And we do it... we do a strategy that's called Fast Zora. So there's kind of triggers that end the quest. One of those is an HP gate. And then the other one is Zora Magdaros progressing through a gigantic wooden barrier. We want to get it to those triggers as fast as possible. The fastest way to do it is to cancel his attack animations. So he has 2 animations he's going to try to do. One where he's going to slam a hand on a ballista to break it, and another one where he's going to shoot a fireball at a cannon to destroy it. We're going to use cannons that are set up here to stagger him out of those animations and progress him to the barrier. It's kind of a neat little strategy because the first time that you do this, all the NPCs are yelling at you to, like, shoot the cannons and fire the ballista. You have to stop him here. And you're just prolonging the inevitable. I'm pretty sure when I did this casually, the quest was 28 minutes long. Because you can sit here and just like shoot cannon after cannon and reach the stagger thresholds over and over and over again. And it just doesn't move. And the game's like, you're doing great. And really, you're doing, slow. So the first half of this is going to be us shooting cannons and canceling animations. Then the second half of this is going to be us running around on his back and breaking or mining. If you have any donations or anything, maybe you want to tell us about the charity, that would be a good time to do it after this first phase or during it, really.
So the requirements for this quest to end are that just he has a health gate that you have to match, but to
Yep.
match the health gate is actually really easy. It's a small health gate.
Yeah, it's under 1,000 damage, which each cannon shot does 180.
So yeah, basically once you do the health gate, you can reach it in the first phase very easily just by doing the
Yep.
fast Zora cannon shots.
The game even tries to bait you even further. When you get onto its back in the second phase, it's telling you to break the magma cores on its back to do more damage, right? Because, a hurt monster equals kill it, right? Wrong. Because he can't die here. It's impossible for him to die. And if you break a magma core on its back, which is like his weak spots, he staggers and just doesn't move. So it's all slow. So the first thing we're going to do here is early binder. It's the first part of the fast Zora. Ellie actually found this. Ellie Alive found this strat where you can shoot the binder immediately. It's one of the transition requirements to get into phase 2, that this ballista binder has to be used. So we're going to aim, we're going to shoot it. It's going to binder him, and that'll stop his movement just for a little while. The further away Zora Madros is, the shorter this binder lasts. The NPCs can also shoot this binder, and it lasts twice as long as the longest player binder. It is awful. So we shoot it. Before, we actually used to skip his animations and then let the NPCs shoot it because we thought that was faster. Turns out it's not. I'm leaving behind our adorable abomination cat. He is no longer welcome with us here. I think I'll re-equip him for the rest of the hunt.
The main reason you
having him
don't
with
want
us.
him along here is because he can shoot the ballista for you, which normally you would think might be a good thing, but you don't want him to shoot the ballista because he can stagger Zora at the wrong moment. And
Yeah, I actually don't
things.
think I explained how staggering works, but there's a bunch of hidden values to the game that are associated with the different parts of the monster, like the arm, the leg, the back, the head, the tail, that are different statuses. So just dealing damage to a monster builds up a status that's called staggering. The stagger threshold in some cases is shared like with the claw stagger or a regular stagger. In Zora's case, it's just a regular stagger. So as we do damage to him, a stagger threshold is built up. Meet that threshold, status happens. We use the cannons to cue the next threshold. Because while it's in a threshold, the next one's building, but it can't happen until after it. So on the first shot, it staggers it. So this is the first cannon. I'm just waiting for it to transition from a movement AI into its attack AI. All of that hit, so that's good. The Gilly Mantle up because there are more birds coming to mess with me. And we'll get ready with the next cannon. See all 4 of them? They're coming to ruin my day. Oh, there's 5 of them. It just multiplied. But yeah, you saw me shoot the 2 birds at the beginning. It's because they can bully you off of all this stuff, which will probably happen. The next trigger here, I'm waiting for like a weird head shake. But you can actually wait a little bit longer and wait for for it to actually start shooting the fireball. I think it's a little bit slower. We've gotten our first stagger, so now we're queuing up a part break on the monster, which we're going to get with the ballista, the gigantic arrow. So we're going to get a stagger here. The stagger isn't going to take the chest break, and then we're going to get the chest break with the ballista. There it is.
So would that be a good time for the donations?
Yeah.
All right, awesome. We got $6 from Midnight Vesper. I really do appreciate your dedication to fixing the donation palindrome, because that's what he's doing here again. Thank you so much. And just a quick reminder as well that we are raising money for charity Le Petits Rois, and their mission is to promote the education and development of children with intellectual disabilities, whether or not they fall on the autism spectrum, throughout the entirety of their lives. They offer tools and support projects dedicated to providing them with stimulating, adapted environments that facilitate their path towards a life of autonomy and personal growth. So really, it's a wonderful cause that you are supporting if you choose and are able to donate.
All right. So we got Zora skip. Fast Zora, if you want to call it the right thing. I think I'm going to skip Bitterbug this time. try something new. It's just slightly optimized routing that I've been playing around with. I think it'll work. That's a very early dialogue. We got a very good fast Zora. That dialogue tells us that he's interacting with the barrier now. Then he's going to do a little roar here. And then he's going to destroy there's the roar, and he's going to destroy the barrier. It's actually really good. This is when I want to see all of that stuff as I'm selling this ammo here, because we aren't using a gun, so hammer doesn't use ammo, so we don't need this. So that was a really good fast Zora. But I use this time because we have to wait anyways to sell all this stuff, because we need a lot of money. I mean, not a lot, but it can help. I don't know how many more upgrades we're actually going to be able to do. I'm also checking to see how many large monster bones and Anjanath pelt I have. I need 1 Anjanath pelt and 2 large monster bones. Thank you for giving that in the inverse order. Game trolling me. But I have a lot of chances for large monster bones still. I need them to unlock a camp in the ancient forest that makes doing a lot of other things a lot faster. It won't be a huge time loss since we're just doing Zora 2, because it's mostly used in the high rank portion of the game. So it won't lose us too much time. Did he already slam? Oh, he sure did. All right, cool. But getting out here fast, Zora's gonna move at the same rate no matter what. We can't really lose time here after we do fast Zora. So now Zora has all of these mining nodes on its back, and I am greedy for materials, so I am going to do that.
Yeah. So the game wants you to go destroy these mining cores, but as a Bagel said before, you don't need to do it because it already has down on death damage, and B, if you break one, he slows down, which we do not want.
He just stops moving entirely. But that was one of those cores. Attack it. No, we're not going to do that. But the game wants you to, right? It's to prolong this mission just indefinitely. It's honestly terrible. But now we're just kind of in another auto scroll sequence, and then we'll have our next kind of boss rush. That's the one thing that I do really like about this game, is that it's a lot of boss rush in between. You have some movement, and you have a boss to fight, and you have some movement, and you have a boss to fight. And it's one of the redeeming qualities of this game too, because every single monster is designed to be a new wall. And when you finally overcome that wall, it is a great feeling.
Yeah, the rest of this quest, for the most part, is just waiting for Zora to get to the next barrier. Which is why we call him snoring after us, because you have the time to take a nap right now.
Yeah, you literally. If you don't need to farm the materials, at all. You could literally just stand at the front of the monster and wait for it to end, and there are runners that do that. I should have taken that max potion. I knew it. I'm hurting.
Mm-hmm. There is one more thing Bagel actually has to do for this quest, though, once he reaches the barrier.
That is the Nergigante quick kill.
Yeah.
Nergigante. It's actually a neat little strategy.
Yeah, he's coming to say hello and help / hurt Zora. He's trying to mess with us. So we're going to have to use some bombs to scare him away, because explosives hurt. Who knew?
But yeah, it's actually a neat little setup that I found. Nergigante, it's the flagship of this game. He's going to come here to ruin our plan, and he does. But we have to repel him first. So he has a health gate that is exactly equal to 2 large barrel bombs and 3 small barrel bombs. The game normally only allows you to place 2 small barrel bombs before the first one explodes, because they're on a little fuse. But if we hold forward while we're placing them, we can actually place them faster, get the third one down, and then Nergigante transitions. So I'm just using a ration there to reset my stamina so I can keep climbing a little bit faster and keep running here. And just getting the last couple of bits of mining outcrops. You saw that I broke a part of him on the other side. That wasn't a magma core. It's a part break, actually, which can give me another material. I'm going to break another one here. Whack, 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 and it's gone.
Yeah, we're going to be seeing a lot more of these rocks later at the end of the run too.
Yep, when we encounter Zora Madras for a second time.
That one's a little more interesting though.
Yeah. That one's actually it's a fun quest to optimize because we actually do damage the magma cores, but we try not to break them. So it's sketchy.
Yeah, there's actually stuff happening in that quest you need to do the entire time.
So first thing, we do the best emote in the game, and then I can do some item management.
Yep.
This is just to kind of help me. There's nothing else that we can really do here in this quest. We do just kind of have to wait now. We have progressed the game as fast and as far as we possibly can. So now we legitimately just wait here.
On the topic of organization of items, at the very beginning of the run, you saw him messing around with settings during the Joggers hiding sequence. None of that actually speeds anything up. That's just setting his preferences to what he likes.
Yep. And the same thing with this here. It's called the Radial Menu. It's like a quick way to use items, so I don't have to actually open up another menu. I set it up mostly to do crafting, so I can craft materials while I'm running without opening up this menu here. This is just a more detailed menu that tells you like exactly how much material you have of everything, but I can do that with the Radial Menu instead.
Yeah. If you also have any other donations or anything you want to say, now's the perfect time while we wait for Zora to get to the barrier.
All we're doing is waiting to get to the end here.
Perfect. I'll take a moment to remind you about some upcoming milestones we have, because we are getting really close to a few of them. We do have one for the demo showcase of Duck Dodgers, which we're getting really close to. If we can hit a total raise of $14,444, we will be able to meet that incentive. So you can see that we're quite close if you look at the current donation total. And we also have some bid wars coming up as well. We have a Mega Man 2 randomizer where you can pick which character to play as. Currently, it looks like Base is in the lead with only $20 though. There's a zero for both Proto Man and Mega Man, so if you want to see any of those, you can get your donations in towards that. And then we also have Dragon Ball Z coming up where you can pick which language our runner should play in. Right now, French is ahead with $32.11. Japanese is also an option with $0. So if that's something you want to see, that's also something you can donate towards.
If I remember correctly, too, the runner said last night that picking the language actually affects the time, too. So if you want to pick the longest language.
That is absolutely something you can do, yes.
For placing these for placing these bombs, he has a little setup. He puts on the Gilliam anti-heal just so when Nergigante appears, he doesn't get spotted, and he gets resetted there intentionally so he can find the exact rock to put those barrels on.
So now those rocks are going to the bombs are right where Nergigante is going to land. When he lands here, he's going to do a roar. I'm going to dodge that roar because roars act like attacks and you can iframe through them. And then I'm going to place all these bombs. Whee! And then 1, 2, 3. Oh, I almost got the dodge out. All 3 of those hit. Dodge it again because style. And the quest is over. I don't have to do anything else here. But I do anyways because I'm bored. And it's over. So that's Zora 1. That's the first partial 80% category to this game.
Yeah.
And now we just have another cutscene. This game's full of them. It's so good. Full of every cutscene.
Yep.
But now we move on to the second half of low rank. We're gonna discover some new regions. The handler's gonna try to kill us. We're gonna fight a bat, and I don't know what else are we gonna murder? A big stinky ice chicken.
So Spiky Boy.
Spiky Boy, yep.
Clifford.
Spiky Lad. Clifford, yep, we do fight Clifford the big red dog.
Yep.
Holes starring Shia LaBeouf.
And a dragon Kian.
And a dragon. Like, literally a dragon. 20 seconds off Zora 1 world record? Are you timing it, Green? Oh, that was close.
Yeah, for no add-ons, that was a really good Zora 1
It
segment.
is, yeah. Hope it is a really good. What was the timer at? I have a 126 with switch axe.
It was like around, I think, 127 something.
Wow, that's like really good, actually. Holy crap. That is fantastic. Yeah, no, a sub 130 pace on Zora 1 with no add-ons is really comfy because a lot of the time loss that we get is coming from the fact that we have to make and farm for equipment, and that we're doing less damage. And that's only 7 minutes off of the record time, or I guess 8 minutes. What we just did was 8 minutes off of the record time for this. And in speedrunning, that sounds like a lot, but in a 4-hour game, that is not a lot of time. Because right now, the difference between first and second place is 10 minutes. I guess it's 8 minutes now. And that's the overall world record for the add-ons category. The clue is absolutely correct. I'm not used to being fast. All right. Large monster bones. Thank you. He gave me 3. So that covers the large monster bones that we need. That's like the last bit of required RNG. And then I hope I just get lucky with everything else now. We're about to go on another quest here, an expedition into a place that is called... oh, wait. Yeah, what is this place called? Actually, I don't even remember the name of it because we only go here once. And you can never go back again.
I think it's just called the Great Ravine.
Yeah, there we go. Great Ravine. Yeah, when I'm mashing through text here, I don't know if I already mentioned this, but I'm mashing X and circle. That's confirm and cancel. And then I start mashing cancel. Cancel also works for anything that has to confirm. Except for tutorials, you have to specifically hit accept. Which is really annoying. So a lot of the text mashing in this game can be really confusing because some text you have to mash X only, some text you mash X and circle, some text you only mash circle. It can be really confusing. So this is the Great Ravine. This is just kind of like a transition area between the stories, the story. There's nothing to do here other than run optimally. And all we're going to do is just start moving into the next area, which is the Coral Highlands. One of my favorite areas, but it's a really small zone. It's like it's only... that's like the only thing that I don't like about it. It's a really tiny area compared to all the other places in this game. Because like the Ancient Forest and the Wildspire Waste are gigantic, which is the 2 regions that we've seen before, the forest and the desert. This next one is really unique. It's essentially like a coral reef, but above ground. I think that's so cool. There's a neat little trick here that you can do. If you hug this wall on the right side, you avoid the walking trigger all the way up to that red marker. It actually saves a considerable amount of time. What's really nice, too, is that we're using Hammer, and Hammer actually has a scriptable Paolumu. Paolumu is the next monster that we fight, as I like to call it, Batloon. It's a bat balloon. But it is entirely an unscriptable fight because it does not have a head topple. It has a head stagger, and that shares a threshold with a claw stagger. So it never ends up on the ground as a result of attacking the head. And its head is the best hit zone value for most weapons. So we're going to use the hammer. We're going to beat up the head, and we're going to get 2 KOs, maybe 3, and along with that 3 cloggers. Then it's going to try to fly. We're going to flash it out of the air. We're going to get our last KO, and then that should be a 0 transition capture. All of these should be 0 transitions at this point too, but it's not easy to get with add-ons runs, or with no add-on runs, because we just don't deal as much damage. But we're in a pretty comfortable spot here. I have a level of Slugger, which helps with the KO damage, makes KOs possible, or that makes more KOs possible, and then a level of attack boost. I'm going to make a pair of, they're called the High Metal Greaves. That's going to give me more defense. Whew. And a level of Heavy Artillery, which is going to be used for Zora 2. And then I'm going to check, trying to think, is there anything else useful here? If I was using Charge Blade, I'd check Anjanath, but I'm not. And then Paolumu, I won't check again until later. So there really aren't many other upgrades that are super useful, so I might just try to go Poverty with this since I didn't get that much anyways. And when's the next? No, yeah, because the next time I run into Boulder Bones is on Diablos, and that would only help for 1 hunt. So no, we're running with this weapon. since we didn't get the Boulder Bone RNG that we needed. That early Boulder Bone RNG is a killer. So this is the third fleet, or the research base. I mentioned earlier that once we unlock this place, we will never go back to Astera to do anything. This has all the provisions that we need that are in Astera, but in a much smaller base. Like the moment you load in here, the smithy is on your left. Versus the moment you load into Astera, you have to run across Astera, take a lift to go up, and then run into a building. That's just awful. This is the Coral Highlands, my literal favorite region in this entire game. I think this place is so cool. And this place is actually really nice, too, for the speedrun, because there are 3 thunderbugs up here. Oh, I didn't grab that. I actually don't need it. There are 3 thunderbugs. There's this honey gathering spot. Like, it's so nice because it's incredibly convenient. I'm actually not going to do any gathering, any more bone gathering, because we aren't going into high rank for the speedrun. So we actually don't have to. I actually finished on pace now that I think about it.
Let's go.
Let's go. So this is Zisiyaku. During this expedition, we have a couple of triggers that we have to meet. One of them is spotting Zisiyaku, and then one of them is unlocking the camp. Notice I said spotting. We don't need to fight it. So we're just going to leave this guy. I'm going to grab 1 thunderbug in here. There's 2 more behind me, but I only need the 1 right now. And then we go this way.
And that was pretty rude, so we're just going to ignore him.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. There's nothing else that I really need. That gives me Sturdy Bone, but I didn't get the Boulder Bone, so there's no point in farming for the Sturdy Bone. Yeah, we just keep going. This is it. This is the equipment that we run with. If this was the longer category, we'd be going with a lot more. But the main difference here is that our defense is not high. So this run now becomes super sketchy. It becomes really obnoxious.
Yeah, pretty much at this point, anything can pretty easily cart Bagel.
Yeah, if I get hit once, I will most likely just cart. Which I guess I'll throw it out there now. Every time I cart, I'll donate $25. So I'm gonna try not to. But yeah, I usually don't, but I might. So now they're telling us like, oh, you got to go back to the Coral Highlands and fight this Paolumu, and for what reason we don't really know either. But you should do it because it exists.
And we're a bunch of evil monsters.
But in comparison to Astera, the research base is amazing because there's the handler, here's the provisions manager, so our store. He's right here. We're going to buy 2 pouch, so we have some stuff on us. And then we're also going to buy a box, because we're going to use box management for the rest of the run. And then here's the smithy. It's all right here. Why use anything else? Forge equipment, armor. We're going to go up, over, make these legs. And then Kadachi's evade extender, Baroth's Hammer Surge, Kulu, fire resist, pro transporter, defense boost, speed sharpening. Yo, I think we're running with it. I will make this, though. Level of health boost. I think this is our set. And then upgrade. I'm just going to double check it. Fossil. Oh, I did get it. Oh, it's only 2 Boulder Bone. All right, let's go. Cool. We actually got it.
Let's go.
Let's go. I have my notes wrong for that, apparently. So it only took 2 Boulder Bones, so we actually got the RNG there. All right. So much for marathon luck. So on low rank quests, I didn't mention this, but the supply box gives you like starting equipment. That's where I got those knives from before to make sleep knives, and that's where I get these easy flash pods. It's 3 flash pods that I get for the quest. They give them to us. Mm-hmm. We're gonna use these instead of the materials that we've worked so hard to gather. But like we are actually at like optimal performance right now. Level of health boost, which gives us more health, means we can take more damage. Level of attack boost, which is a small, like 5 raw increase, but with these small weapons, it actually does make a really big difference. And then a level of Slugger, which means we do more KO damage, which means we can get more KOs. And KOs are nice.
Yeah, the only reason we didn't really mention the box items before is because most of the time they only have first aid meds and rations, which we don't really need. But
Yeah.
specifically for any flying wyvern, such as Palumu, they usually give you flash pods, which are actually pretty helpful. And
Yeah, so we'll take the flash pods on this quest and then on Legiana in 2 quests.
Yeah, but there was also the sleep knives we used for Anjanath as well.
Yep. So this is Paolumu, Batloon. You can see now why I call it that. This opener is really cool. We're going to wallbang it. We're going to do a level 3 charge on its head to get a Tenderize in the head. I don't know if we've mentioned it. I'll mention it again. The Tenderize allows us to deal more damage. It makes the hit zone value better. It changes it. And so if we're dealing more damage, it's going faster. We do that wallbang. I'm going to equip my easy flash pods now. Level 3 charge into a Tenderize. 2, 3, all those on the head. Beautiful. There's our KO, perfectly scripted, and then we're just going to a big bang. It's going to roar out of this. What I want to do is dodge out of my attack and dodge the roar, and then get a Clogger here. I didn't get it because I overwrote the threshold. Runnies are bad. We just never want the monster to run, like, anywhere, ever. Hitboxes in this game can be weird sometimes, and when a monster's doing runnies, the entire body becomes a hitbox. It's awful. Like that. Like I said earlier, getting hit is not great. I grazed the head, I just got ran over. And you can see how generous that hitbox is for him, and not for me. And we're doing a runny again, so that's 4 in a row now. Monster AI.
Yeah, this monster loves to run.
So we're going to wait for an attack here because he can't be flashed yet, and then we're going to flash it. I go for a level 3 charge and do another claw attack on the head. No, I'm not. I got a KO. That combo does a lot of KO damage. It's why I do it a lot, even though I don't have to tenderize the head. Should just stand here and not do much. I don't like fighting into this wall. Its body is pushing me in a weird way. Connect. And then now I'm just kind of watching it because it's getting close to the timer to transition. And if it's going to do that, I need to stop it. 1, 2. That's unfortunate because I got a KO. I didn't want to do that, but I buffered that input. But I have first pod, so it should, if I can do enough damage. Yeah, it's trying to transition now. So I'm going to use flash pods to keep it here. Uh-oh. Thank you, dead zone. My controller has a dead zone on it that is not well defined. I'm going to go for a mount. It's safe. Game camera.
Oh my.
Yep. I don't want to use this easy flash pod. I'll just take the slow mount. This is just so much safer. 1, 2, 3. And I'm looking for that last pod, but it should be close here. Yep, it's right there. And a 1 and a 2. Nice. It's actually really good. Wow. A marathon run that's going well? I just jinxed it.
Why do you say anything?
Yeah, why do I? What's really nice about also Zero transitioning in this area is that there are 3 sleep herbs here. That means 3 more captures that we can do. And then the next area that we go into, there's 2 on the way to the next fight. So that's max for us, which is super nice. You can only carry 10 at a time.
I think you have enough sleep herbs for the rest of the run, though.
Oh, I have plenty now, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't need 6 that I gather, but I still do the same item gathering because it doesn't lose any time.
Yeah.
So this is the part of the game that like always debates everyone, because you go on a quest, then you have to talk to her, then you go on another quest, then you have to talk to her. it's really annoying learning this part of the movement because sometimes you have to initiate a quest with the handler, and sometimes you have to talk to the third fleet master to go on quests. So we've been introduced to the Coral Highlands. Now we're going under it to the Rotten Vale. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's a place of just stinky, rotten carcasses of everything. So now we get to go play in the stink. It has a really cool effect where there is this gas called effluvia. It's kind of everywhere, and it's a persistent tick damage. It's great. It's great design. And if we were doing the if we were doing the 0% category, you would get to see the Elder Dragon gets to use that against you, cut your HP into half, and then just suck you dry of all of your health and kill you in one frame. And it's great. It's great. It's great. Makes me cry every time.
Also, if you're playing it in English, this is the worst line game coming up.
Oh, yeah. No, it's literally the worst line. But we play in Monhan language now, so we don't have to worry about it anymore. And I refuse to acknowledge it exists. If only Torch Pod worked like this. Shoot it at the ground, everything around you explodes, the monsters run away. You do that in the actual game, shoot at the ground, and nothing explodes, and the monster goes, hey, look, there's something to kill.
Although I think we could go without the monster running away part.
Yeah. So this is not even a load screen. This thing is a suggestion at best. It's more of a formality. So I actually moved during that quote unquote load screen to get to the canteen. It's like the smallest optimization of this game, but I think it's just so cool. Because the way that load screens works is an animation to load the load screen and then an animation to deload the load screen. So a load screen is always the fastest a load screen can be is the duration of that the loading animation and the unloading animation. And my computer is almost to that standard. I also do run this game at max graphics, so that's another reason why it's not there. But it's a negligible time save and time loss. The majority of time saves and time losses in this game are in quest movement and monster fights, like actually scripting out your fights. And this one has a 30% chance of failing. This fight has a opener that is dependent on the monster's movement. So I'm going to clutch onto the monster's head and wait for its first movement. 2 out of the 3 moves that it can do give me the opening. The last one doesn't, in which case I just have to triple hit it and then tenderize it. But if it gives me the right movement, I can hit it once and wallbang it, and then that gives me an opening to build up a KO. So we claw on. I'm on the wrong side of the monster, how that happened, and I also got the good RNG. I don't have enough, so I wonder if that hits. Okay, we have learned something new today. Sure.
If it works, it works.
If it works, it works. That's like the other thing too, is the clutch claw is a very bad mechanism in this game. Nope, I did not dodge that, so I don't get hit here. Okay, KO.
Yeah, so the thing about the clutch claw is, like, the clutch claw can only grab on to specific parts of the monster. So, like, if you claw a certain part, like, for some monsters don't have a clutch claw, like, area for their tail, so you can grab their tail and end up on their back leg, and it's really weird. But
that was risky and dumb.
The clutch claw is just not very reliant a lot of the time. It likes to take you to parts that you don't want to grab or weren't aiming for, and it's just not the best at, like, clutching onto the part you actually want to clutch.
This is queuing a KO. There it is. Not hitting a good zone. There we go. I was hitting its hand. Once again, brutes are awful. This is a great attack. I didn't want to move because there's a slope there, and it'll put me into an animation that I can't, like, actually use. Slopes are the bane of existence. The bane of existence for some. No, the cat did the worst thing. So the cat did a knockdown animation against the monster, which now has put it into this transition zone. I am hoping that it comes back and fights me over here. If a monster starts fighting in a transition zone, it can transition to the next area. I obviously don't want that because it's slow, so now I have to do something about it.
Slopes are either your best friend or your worst enemy. It really depends on the situation. Because sometimes some slope attacks can be really good, but other times you just never want slopes.
Oh my goodness! Whatsoever. Never bringing the cat with me on anything ever again. First pod?
So the cat can also be a good and a bad thing. We haven't talked much about the cat yet. It's because generally it doesn't do much a lot of the time. So, especially because it doesn't have the poison weapon right now, which can poison the monster as we talked earlier, but besides just randomly attacking it for basically negligible damage at the moment, it can also heal him. It can give him a little Vigor Ross to restore his health, which sounds nice and all, but the cat also has a side effect of sometimes taking the monster's aggro, which can make the monster do weird things that he does not want.
Yeah, it's harder to predict the monster's movement when you bring the cat. But with Hammer, we have KO damage, which gives us an entire other type of control against the monster, which makes it a little more predictable. And because this is no add-ons, having the Vigor Wasp healing is very nice. Even having just like the de-aggro is very nice because there are moments where you can just get lucky and the monster aggro's onto the cat instead of you, and that gives you an opening to heal.
Yeah. So
now that that thing's dead, we have to do one more thing. We just have to cite the Great Gyros here, and then we can leave. Yeah. And we leave.
Yeah. The cat can either be a really good thing, or it can absolutely ruin a fight. Depending.
So yeah, and like I just, it's so cool, like how this game actually worked out as far as like routing and scripting, because there's very little that we have to do out of our way to actually like play this game optimally. The fact that you get like the perfect number of sleep herbs and the perfect number of parashrooms to capture every monster, the perfect number of thunderbugs that you're gonna run past anyways. It is amazing to me. Part of me wonders, like, did they even think about that? Because in a speedrun sense, we don't have to do anything extra. We do the bare required minimum with some like routing changes, and that works out to be the exact number that we need. All of my routing for like trap tools and trank pods it's all exact. I get the exact number that I need all the way up to the last monster that you can capture. And it's just crazy to me that you can do that without like having to go on an expedition and like gather extra materials, right? Like it's crazy. So we are just about to unlock the secret of the Rotten Vale. Spoiler alerts, things go there to die. I don't know why that wasn't obvious in the first place, but it wasn't. So next we are gonna try to go deeper into the Vale. We won't be able to, so we're gonna go fight an ice chicken, and then we're gonna go back into the Vale, fight Clifford. But there's only 4 hunts left of this speedrun, and then Zora 2, which is about a 10-minute quest. And Zora 2 is interesting to say the least. So we take all of that. And this is where the game debates you again, because you're like, hey, let's go on a mission. Because she's like, come talk to me. And you're like, okay, I'll come talk to you. And then you sit through a minute-long cutscene, and then you don't even get to do the quest. This game has like such weird design when it comes to pacing, but it's a lot of that stuff they fixed when Iceborne came out. The pacing in Iceborne, the DLC to this game, is so much better. The fights are a lot more interactive and a lot harder to script, especially in the speedrun. Until you get to the end game, in which case, like, it's, you know, brain dead how to play this game.
Yeah, if you ever play Base World and you enjoyed it, Iceborne is just actually like World 2. Like it's just like the content is basically worth a whole new game, and it's definitely recommended.
Exactly. No, exactly. It's a great experience. It's a great game. This is a game that like I can come back to and play even casually still while still speedrunning it, because I know a lot of people can't say that about their speed game, that like, you know, I enjoy going back and playing, you know, a Hat in Time. It's like I actually can't do that since I learned the Hat in Time speedrun. Because all I'm thinking about is like, oh, did I get my dive boost there? No, I didn't. All right, let me reset this. I was like, wait a second, I'm just playing to 100% the game again. Why am I worried about that dive boost?
But yeah,
but this game, it's just so nice just to be able to like come in and play it.
Yeah, especially because like any like RTA experience is so much different than like the Hunt to Hunt IL experience. It's actually crazy.
It's playing with bare minimum materials and bare minimum like armor, right? Like my armor value right now I think is barely over 100. I think it might be 116 if I remember correctly. I could be wrong about that, but it's not very high. Like the waist that I'm using right now I think only has 18 defense, versus the legs that I'm using right now, which I think has 64 defense. It is wild.
Probably have time for a donation or two, don't we, Bagel?
Oh yeah, there's plenty of time for donations.
Alright, I will then remind everyone what we are raising money for, because we are here to help raise money for charity. We are raising money for Le Petits Rois, and their mission is to promote the education and development of children with intellectual disabilities, whether or not they fall in the autism spectrum, throughout the entirety of their lives. They offer tools and support projects dedicated to providing them with stimulating, adapted environments that facilitate their path towards a life of autonomy and personal growth. So really, it is a wonderful cause that we are donating for. And in case you're wondering, wait, is there any bid wars or any incentives that I can donate towards? And yes, there is. We have a Duck Dodgers demo showcase that is coming up soon if we raise a total amount of $14,444. So as you can see from the total, we're quite close. And we have a few more hours before we need to hit that. So if that's something you want to see, you can get those donations in now. And you can also choose to put them towards a language in Dragon Ball Z, either French or Japanese, where French is currently ahead. So you can either solidify the lead with the French language, or you can donate towards Japanese if you want to see that instead.
So we're on a timer here. Unlike all the other quests that we've been going on, where there have been cutscenes, and then the monster fight, there isn't one here. We've already encountered the monster, so they're like, yeah, you don't need a cutscene here, you just watched it. Which puts us on a timer to get here quickly. I actually get to do my add-ons strategy here, since I don't have to do any more gathering. I get to just run directly up here and do some pretty nifty stuff. I'm going to place bombs on the ground where the monster is going to land. I'm going to flash the monster out of the ground. When it hits the ground, the bombs will go off because I timed it out. And then after the monster gets up, I am going to shoot it into the wall. And that's just going to give me a really big opening against it. So yep, there's the monster now. I have plenty of time to do all of this. 1, 2, looking at the shadow. 3, get on the ground, Mr. President. That hit. 1, 2, 3. Just going to stand here. Oh, nope, I got a KO instead. That's actually perfectly fine. Just going to grab that normally. Oh, it turns it. Cool. That's fine, though. So this thing is really annoying. I'm hopefully going to do stuff that helps mitigate it.
Yeah, this is our second flying wyvern, I believe. And obviously in the name, they like to fly. So that's why we really want these flash pods.
Yeah,
because when you flash the monster when you flash pod a monster in the sky, they fall to the ground. And yeah, flying monsters can be pretty annoying because, you know, when up in the air, they're kind of hard to hit with this hammer.
Yep. I just need to wait for it to be in a... Yeah, I can't flash it out of this one. Ideally, I would flash it out of this, but it's going to be moving way too much. So I'm actually just going to take the finisher, which I have right here. Mounting is generally slower. And I was hoping that it wouldn't immediately start flying when I got on, so I could shoot the flash pod a little bit faster, but that wasn't the case.
This area can be kind of annoying for Hammer, because if you notice, the entire arena is on his slope. So if anytime he tries to like hold the charge and walk down the hill, he's just gonna start sliding, which can be a little annoying.
Legiana also does this really cool thing where she can't be flashed out of certain animations, so I have to be patient. That's just like the key thing to this speedrun, is being patient. KO. Ooh, it's close. This is actually like really uncommon for me, because this is the last monster I really need flash pods for. So I get to be super greedy here with the flash pods, because I have a lot of them.
You just need like 5 or so for the Dragon TM. That's about it.
So I'm on first pod. Oh. I grab that thing. This is called a Slinger Burst. I did it earlier, but I don't think I explained what it was. But it allows us to do a lot of damage to the monster. It's going to transition. This is bad. Wait for this animation to be over. And there's the second pod. While it's coming out of that animation, we can trap it. 1 and 2. All right, so that was a little slow because I took both of those. I took one of those mounts to its completion. But that was still a really good hunt, regardless. And just like after any quest, we're just trying to find things. I'm picking up nullberries there out of instinct, even though I do not need them anymore. The next monster can either go really, really well or really, really poorly. It is called Odagarin. It is the angriest doggo. It is probably a weasel, but we keep calling him a dog. He does a blight that is called Bleed Blight. Bleeding, you take a dot, or you take damage anytime you use stamina. For Hammer, whenever you're holding a charge, you use stamina. So you're always taking damage. To get rid of it, you have to stop moving and crouch. So it's obviously a time loss to get rid of it. So if I get it, well, we'll see what happens.
Technically, you can also eat a Stera jerky to get rid of the bleeding. However, you need to buy that from a shop, and we do not have it.
I did not buy it. Man, I don't need to do any of this movement, but yet here I am doing it. Because like usually I would go in here, I'd get like Devil's Blight and a bunch of flash bugs and stuff like that. I actually just didn't need to do this. I'm only gonna do half of it, actually. Because yeah, like a lot of the gathering in this is more so set up to help you do high rank better. Because you need a lot of low rank materials to make high rank equipment, and since we aren't going into that, we just don't even need to do it. Because we only have 3 hunts left, and the last 3 hunts are really easy to do. Well, okay, the last 2 hunts are really easy to do with Hammer, unless I get hit, which I shouldn't get hit. just don't get hit.
Yeah, just don't get hit, forehead.
I'm actually really surprised that this run is going as well as it is. Because I'm being really greedy with a lot of this. It may not look like it, but I'm being really greedy with like some of my hits and some of my attacks. And it's working out somehow.
Yeah, Jal is making this look really easy, but it is definitely not.
I am just at the point where I have 3,000 hours in this game, over 1,000 speedrunning it. And I mean, like, even playing the game casually, it's the same monster AI, it's the same thresholds, it's the same everything. So it's not like things change. Like, even playing the game casually helps prepare you for playing it in the speedrun setting. And one of the things that I've been doing is learning how to do the master rank fights for the Char percent better. Just by going in and playing against them casually, because the thing that I have a problem with now is positioning and timing and stuff like that. Speedrunner makes the game look easy, unheard of. I know. Imagine. So that's our cutscene trigger, and now we just get to run back in. I'm gonna do an opening here where I get to wallbang the monster for free. And then, actually, you know what? I'm gonna go Hamule, and I'm also going to do, because I have them and I don't need them for other fights, I'm going to use a pitfall trap in this quest too. And since I can use these too.
Just use everything.
I just get to use everything. So let's just go fast. Let's go speedy. Really weird spot here. 1, 2. That looked like it's aimed at the wall in before. All right, good. Really good positioning off of that. Just to make sure I get the head. Yeah, this is Clifford Odogaron.
He likes to move a lot.
He also likes to put his head inside of walls. All really good hits there. I have a Clogger queued. Nope, it's a regular head knockdown. So his head knockdown is really weird, because he does this, like, counterattack thing. And only the end of it is an opening. 1, 2.
It's like a fake out where, it's supposed to catch
you think you knocked him over, and then you actually didn't.
Really cool monster, though.
One of my absolute favorite fights this entire game. Because he's really scripted out too. Like, once he starts his first attack, I know what he's doing, so I can start positioning myself for the next attack. One, 2. This is gonna be close. Got it.
Yeah, this fight is a lot like a little tango for 2, with how you move around him.
Yeah, it's definitely a dance, and I absolutely love it. A lot of his attacks are easily iframed. Like that one, first pod. And it's just like, this quest is entirely like patience. Agreed. I'm gonna go for the capture here now. Yep, that's the last pod.
That was really clean.
That was a very clean fight.
You didn't even need the pitfall either.
Nope. Imagine having extra materials that you just don't need. But yeah, like, a hammer is also like one of my most used weapons in this game. It used to be my main before the Iceborne DLC came out, then they made Switch Axe good, which is my favorite weapon, and then I started using that. Turns out Switch Axe is like top 3 best weapons for the any percent, so that made me really happy.
Yeah, we're both Switch X guys here, so represent.
But it's actually been really cool because there's been a lot more interest in this speedrun as of late, because this Monster Hunter came out in 2018 on console, and then 2019 on Steam, and it's been updated like every quarter with a free title update. And then the DLC came out and the same thing happened. So it's been around for 4 years and being updated and content added for 4 years. Well, that's recently stopped. They came out with the last title update, which introduced the last like big boss monster, and so a lot of people, a lot of Monster streamers, and a lot of other people have been running out of things to do with the game because they still want to play it. And the thing that I always say is, "Hey, speed run it." And yeah, I mean, I always try to instigate people to speedrun this game, and so we've been getting a lot of new interest. And this is the second longest cutscene in the game. I think I said the other one was the third longest. This is actually the second longest cutscene in the game. So I'll mention this now. And Gig, I don't know if you can go and find the links for it and post them in chat if people want them. But we do have a speedrun community for this on speedrun.com for console and PC. We do have a community Discord for this all too that can all be found on the SRC too. And if you're ever interested, you can find me through those avenues. You can find Gig through those avenues, and we can. There's not many resources now, but we're working on making resources to help people play this game because we've had like 4 or 5 active runners for this game at any given time. But I've been doing this speedrun for now 3 years, and it's fun and I really enjoy it. And now that there's nothing else to do in the game, people are looking at it, and so if you're interested, we do have a place to discuss and talk about that.
Yeah, Bagel is always open for questions about speedruns, and our community in general is just like really good. Even if you just want to do some casual hunts, you'll probably find somebody.
Yeah.
And just not even just speedruns, but if anyone ever has like Monster Hunter questions,
it's a great place to ask.
Yeah, exactly. You'll probably find someone pretty quick that can help.
This is also a good time if you have any donations.
Yeah, we can always talk more about upcoming milestones and bid wars because
Sure
we
can.
do have them still. Because we have a Mega Man 2 randomizer coming up later today, and currently Base is the chosen character according to the donations that have come in, but only with $20. So if you want to see either Proto Man or Mega Man, both of those are at $0. So you can get your donations in if you want to see those, or you can donate towards Base if you really want to make sure that Base is the winner of this bid war. We also have more bonus games coming up as well. I have talked about Duck Dodgers quite a bit, but we also have a Mega Man Maker Custom Stages bonus game. If we want to see that, we do need to hit 15,000 total raised. So you can get your money in towards any of those incentives.
I'm really interested to see the Mega Man Maker because I know they've been working on that, like designing this, effectively a whole other game like Mario Maker but for Mega Man. So I'm really curious to see that too.
Mm-hmm. So we're coming up to the last main 2 hunts of the game. We're doing Rathalos and Diablos. Rathalos has got an interesting start to it because we drop a whole waterfall on him to start with, and then we just flash him until he's done. We don't let him leave.
Rathalos is a really cool hunt because it's a full script, and this speedrun does not have a lot of full scripts, and even with no add-ons, it's a full script. And when I say script, I mean like we've calculated out and planned out the actions that need to be done in order to control the monster from the very beginning of the hunt to the very end of the hunt. And those are not easy to do. Big part of the speedrunning community for this game is individual level. So like doing a single monster hunt, like they go and hunt one Diablos, one Rathalos, one Tobikadachi, whatever. Mostly, the end game monsters, but you get my drift. We take that knowledge and apply it here too. It's just harder to do because we aren't using optimized equipment. We aren't using the best, equipment in the game. That's kind of like new game plus individual level idea, right? Like you're or not even new game plus. It's just like end game materials. So you're finishing the game and then you're doing speed runs of it.
The other thing is obviously since this is a full game run, if you mess up the script, you can't just really reset. You kind of have to.
Yeah.
You gotta roll with the punches. Yeah.
So a lot of this run is understanding like what the script is, and then how to recover when you've lost it. Which for the most part is just hit the head again. You're fine, because a lot of the scripting is centered around head thresholds. But sometimes you can like really get like lose control of the monster, and so you can recover with a mount or a wall bang, which I have been known to do. Even though it's slower, it recovers the run from being like even more slower.
Yeah.
Because the worst thing that can happen is a transition, especially on this hunt. There is the dreaded Rathalos World Tour. If it happens, there's like a less than 1% chance that this can happen. The Rathalos World Tour, and I've gotten it twice in the past 2 months. So
It's awful. He just
it's
starts
awful.
flying everywhere, and you're just playing chase, and you just take forever to actually catch him.
He doesn't. When he transitions out of this area, he doesn't actually just stay in another area because he's literally going on the Ancient Forest World Tour. And he will fly around the entire map until he comes back all the way up to the top. So he'll never stop in an area. He'll never try to fight you in an area, even if you engage him. You can even find him in an area, flash him out of the sky, start fighting him, and he'll aggro against you and then immediately leave anyways. The AI is actually broken for this. But like I said, it's like a less than 1% chance of happening. The first time it happened to me was like 2.5 years after speedrunning, like starting speedrunning this game.
So
it was awful.
Yeah, so we're actually watching a cutscene for Rathalos right now, but we actually don't fight him yet.
Nope.
The reason for that is because after this cutscene, he leaves pretty much this area he's in right now, and if you try to fight it right now, he's going on the world tour. So
yeah,
what we do
on
instead,
console, it's easy. It saves time to just wait there because of load times. But since we're on PC, we can actually leave here, unlock the camp that we're right next to right now, and then come back on the quest.
Yeah, exactly. And then we get to do our script on him. A cool thing, by the way, that we did earlier is when we went to camp, we shot a bird with a pod, and then you can use it just to fly up right into the tree. And it's a really cool thing that not a lot of it doesn't get a lot of use.
Yeah, we don't do it often. We do it twice in the speed run if we get bad RNG, but once optimally. And we've gotten the good RNG. Remember earlier I was talking about how we needed Anjanath Pelt and Large Monster Bone. We have all of that now, and that's to unlock this camp here. I have 5 of these. I can grab the Demon Powder. Yep, and I'm going to. Just some on-the-fly routing that I decided I wanted to do right now. Everything else is crafted. And we return. So this is so we have to walk into this area to unlock the unlockable camp. Then we craft the camp effectively. It's a lot of back and forth, but it actually makes things a lot faster. It saves more time in the longer game category. It probably would have actually been faster just to wait there for Rathalos to come back down, but I'm still going to do it this way because, well...
We're too late now.
My brain works. Yeah, I mean, I'm already here. I also needed to because I didn't have a shock trap, and I'm going to get a shock trap here. I can finish a hunt with a pitfall trap, but I don't want to.
What else?
Shock trap plays faster.
Yeah.
I mean, fair, but shock traps plays faster. It's just easier.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever mentioned this, but you see, like, at the beginning of every quest, I sit down at this little canteen here and I eat at the camp. We're eating for an attack boost, effectively. Every single time we're eating for an attack boost. So every time we eat, we gain a little bit more attack. It's just a nice thing to have.
There's a secondary reason we eat at that camp specifically. After you finish I don't remember what quest it is. I'm sure you know Bagel, but after you finish
Geratotus.
Yeah, after you finish Giratotus, the canteen actually upgrades. And if you go into like the Astera canteen and eat there, there's actually another cutscene that plays that shows you that the canteen is upgraded. But if you eat at the camp instead, you don't get that cutscene, but you still get the benefits of the upgraded canteen. Also,
so we just dropped an entire waterfall on this guy. Shout out snowfall damage, exactly. So I'm going to tenderize the head here, dodge into it, and then I'm going to be able to do 2 big bang combos against him. And then I'm going to get ready to Slinger Burst a flash at him when he stands up from this. The flash is going to put him in an idle animation where he can't do anything here. I'm actually not going to do another one, because if I get locked into that, I'm going to be really upset. I don't remember what the script is exactly. Yep, I'm happy I didn't, because I'm going to Slinger Burst that. Get this KO here, then go for my other Big Bang.
So yeah, basically, this Rathalos isn't allowed to see ever again.
That's unfortunate. Uh-oh. I frame it. Did. I am playing in a very dangerous spot right now. Oh, Toby's here. Great.
Oh yeah, so Toby
Just
has a
need him to roar.
chance of showing up here. And
Saving?
he can definitely ruin things sometimes. Because he can roar and then try to fight you, and then he can get Rathalos to escape, and it's can be not great.
I have
So
to change
ideally-
how I fought this a little bit, just because Toby was here.
Yeah. Ideally, he doesn't show up, but here he is.
But I'm using the flash pods to keep Rathalos from transitioning.
Yeah, because normally if you don't flash him, he doesn't like to stay in this area for very long, because it's
Spot.
not like a true area.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not a zone.
Yeah, so the game treats it as a transition area, and monsters don't like fighting in transition areas.
Only 2 pods left. Need a KO here. As long as I don't
Toby's
hit off
doing
by
his best
Toby
to help
here.
hitting Rathalos a little.
Toby is trying its absolute best to ruin this. Alright, I'm going for something risky by not having flash pods for Diablos. That's fine.
I mean, ideally we don't need them for Diablos.
The risky thing? Ooh! Alright, we're good. Whew!
Alright,
All
that's
right.
Rathalos.
That's awful. I mean, that was a fine script, especially for Toby being there. Like, that's just kind of how that goes. It could have been a little bit faster if Toby didn't show up, because I know I'd be able to punish a little bit more. But I had to pay attention to Toby's positioning and Rathalos's, because Toby can aggro you and then kill you. Toby's backflip will just one-shot me right here, and I don't want to deal with that. Really, pretty much getting hit by anything here will actually one-shot me. So I'm just trying to avoid all of that. But next is Diablos, and now that I don't have the flash pod on Diablos, I'm going to have to play super conservatively because there are flash bugs in the area that I can use, and I usually use a flash bug to stop him from transitioning, unless I got lucky on Legiana and I had some in rewards, which I'll check right now. I did! Oh, no, those are thunder bugs. I didn't! All right, well, that's unfortunate. So, I mean, yeah, this will just be... this will just be kind of sketchy the entire time, which is fine. This quest gives us Screamer Pods. Diablos is inspired by the movie Tremors, and it likes to burrow underground. It is also why in my splits it's called Holes starring Shia LaBeouf. But this game gives us an item called a Screamer Pod. It's just like Flash Pods or any other ones where they have some sort of effect when you shoot them. This one specifically it creates a sonic wave, which disrupts Diablos and makes him fall out of underground.
It forces
Anyways.
him out from underground and gives us an opening to attack, is the main
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
If I was still going for the high rank speedrun, I would be gathering bone here too. There's 3 bone pickups here that I could get to get more boulder bone, because you need 8 in total for that run. And then I'm going to use this, and use this, and dodge into this. Perfect.
So this cutscene is something that can happen when you're fighting Baroth, and it's awful. It is not good.
Yeah, when I was fighting Baroth at the beginning of the run, I was paying attention to my positioning to not hit these birds, because they fly right over top of Baroth, and using a hammer, it's actually really easy to hit all of these things. When you hit them, I mean, this happens, and it's a really cool thing that you finally learn about in this cutscene, or you accidentally do when you're fighting Baroth, and it's annoying. But this is an environmental trap that also triggers a monster turf war, which we haven't seen in this run, and hopefully we will never see in this run. because turf wars are slow.
And why are turf wars slow, Bagel?
Because you can't do anything during them. The monster cannot be controlled. It's stuck in a locked sequence with another monster, but they end up dealing damage to each other, 5%. This is so cool. I love this cutscene so much.
Yeah, like when they're in the turf war, you can't trap them, and
you can't trap them exactly. And there is a for some monsters, there's part of the turf war animation where they're still immune to the trap even after the animation is done, so they can just walk out of a trap. So they wait for the turf war to be finished, wait for the monster to start moving, then control them, flash them something to trap them, and then trap. It takes so long to do. So you just have to wait.
Getting outside sources that turf wars are 10%.
Oh, excuse me, turf wars are 10%.
But yeah, it's still not great.
Such a cool. So we're hoping for like 80% RNG here, that he rushes at us because he gets stuck in this wall behind us, but there is like a very small chance that he just doesn't do that. In which case I'll be very upset, because this is like all sorts of free damage where it gets me a free tenderize in the head and a free KO, and I'll just miss it. He did it. Okay, good. Good KO. Dodge in, and I don't have time for a big bang. So it stands up here. Oh, no, he didn't idle. Okay, good. I mean, bad, but good. Oh, tail. Nice. So I can go for another KO here. I don't want to hit that flash.
Yeah, that glowing ball of light next to him is a flash pod, but an environmental flash pod, so when he hits it, it has the same effects of a flash pod.
I got a KO in that. This is really good because it extends the KO duration by like 2 seconds.
Yeah, and that's what the screamer pods are good for.
Do another burrow. That'd be pretty cool. Frame perfect dodge there. Don't mind me. Flex.
Sounds like you're good at this game or something.
1, 2. We go for an early one so I can just get this claw extension. KO. Nope, no KO. Oh, because I didn't hit the head there. Uh-oh. I'm gonna try to tail bait him here. Nope, didn't get it. Ooh, this is good though. 1, 2. 1, 2. Let's go for a head snipe. Didn't get it. Oh man, this fight is so much fun with Hammer. You have no idea how much fun I have like speedrunning this game, because it's just full of style. Oh, that's unfortunate. That was an idle animation that we canceled with a stagger. 1, 2. Oh, I didn't quite get it. Still no first pod. It's gonna be a... Oh, he didn't come back to me. So that was like one of the things, like I was anticipating him bringing his head back to me. Tailbait is sad.
If I said he turned to the cat instead.
Yeah, uh-oh, that's gonna hit me. So that's the first time I got hit this entire speedrun. Oh.
Shoutouts to the cat. Actually healing.
And you saw how much damage it did to me. Oh, this is super sketchy. All right.
$25.
So that's $25. That's the first cart. Oh, that's so unfortunate too. Yeah, that was super greedy of me. I was hoping for a KO on one of those hits. Because I feel like I should be really close to them, but I might have overwritten the threshold. It's entirely possible that I overrode a threshold. But that's what carting looks like. And if I'm going to cart to anything, honestly, this is probably one of the hardest monsters in the entire speedrun because of how erratic he can be. Really should have left the cat behind. But we just have to run all the way back to where we were. So this is why karting is bad.
Yeah. Although, to be fair,
I'm really
I don't
hoping
know.
it doesn't transition too.
Yeah, it doesn't. I don't think it has that much left.
No, but I haven't
Yeah.
seen first pod yet, so that's just like the only thing that's really making me worried, because it might be like a threshold. Oh, I should have sharpened. Oh no, there's a pod on the ground. Just gonna double check for any more. Yeah, it's transitioning. That's so unfortunate. But this is the eating transition, so he's gonna go all the way up to the cactus. This is the furthest that he could possibly go away.
Ideally, he would just go down to the area next to us where it sleeps, but unfortunately,
That's
did not.
only on a limp though. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's unfortunate because we got that cart, it messes with the AI of the monster and puts it in a sequence that it can start to transition. AI in this game is super inconsistent, which makes it really hard to run, which is why we try to use control and like flash pods and stuff like that to stop it from doing that. That all becomes less effective though in the master rank portion of the game because I mean they started programming in like, oh yeah, you can't just you know, flash all of your monsters. 1, 2. Now I'm just looking for the last pod here. Oh, I already have it. Right next to me. It's gonna roar here, but maybe I can get this down before... Nope, it didn't roar. Don't kill me. And 1. And a 2. So yeah, that's how close we were. Dang, man. I got greedy once. Oh well. But that's good. There's nothing else to really gather here. Even down in that area, there's nothing to gather. I don't really need anything, so I just stand here and wait now.
So we're on to the last quest of the run.
Last quest!
Yep.
Oh, I could have gotten that honey, I guess.
Yeah, it's not.
But say levy, yeah, like the karting, especially in no add-ons, is an expectation. I don't think I've ever had a clean, full no add-ons run before. I've definitely had a clean Zora 2, but not a full no add-ons. I don't think, at least. But we're just in the last bit of a sequence here. We've got some conversation to have. I'm going to initiate the quest, and then I'm going to try to remember what to do with Hammer against Magma Cores, which is, on average, you deal about 700 to 800 damage with a weapon, and then you can transition, then you can go to the next one, but I think I'm just going to use timing.
So we actually have, like, a couple of cool little, like, tricks we have for Zora 2.
Yeah, I'm still gonna do the Nergigante trick. Oh wait, no, I can't. I didn't get Devil's Bite. I just won't go for the Horn Break. I'll still do the wall bang and stuff.
Yeah. So for Zora 2, it is similar to Zora 1, as in you want him to reach the barrier pretty much as fast as possible.
But now the health gate is higher.
Yes. So we actually have to do stuff like hit Magma Cores. But again, like Bagel was saying before, we actually don't want to break Magma Cores, because when you break Magma Cores, he staggers and stops, which is bad. But we still want to do the damage, so it's a nice little balancing act.
Once again, just coming here instead of talking in Astera, because going anywhere in Astera takes forever. So we just come here and do it instead because load times don't exist on PC. And unfortunately, we've been trying to make like tools like load removers and you get consistent times even with like worse PCs and stuff like that. But there's just no good identifiers for an auto splitter for this game, and like this game is held together by duct tape. Like it looks really well polished, but the moment you try to like remove anything or take out anything, it falls to pieces. It's like a Jenga tower, but instead of Jenga, it's toothpicks, and instead of a tower, it's like the Golden Gate Bridge, and the moment you remove one of them, the entire thing just crumbles to pieces.
Yeah, it's like a Jenga tower, but you've already gone like 40 rounds, so it's already unstable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, this is pretty much the last cutscene we need to watch.
Yep. And then after that, we don't have to watch them anymore. It's great. If you had any more donations or any more announcements that you wanted to make, now would be a good time too before we get into the run or into the quest.
Alright, nothing really going on right now. We are actually having some technical difficulties on my side, but we can talk a bit about what's coming up next, because we do have some amazing runs. We're coming close to the end of this, but we do have, for example, Stargate coming up after this with best ending in Duck Dodgers, 100% as well, so there's some really cool runs coming up if you decide to stick around after this as well. And of course, we are raising money for charity, so if you do have any money to spare, whether it's $5 or $1,000 or anything in between, all of it is very much appreciated.
What's really funny too is, like, I said I was going to donate $25 per cart. I can still cart here. Mm-hmm. This isn't a freebie quest, especially in no add-ons. Zora Madra shoots like fireballs that have consistent movement, but it's just really easy to get clipped by one, and then you've taken half of your health. Then not only that, the magma cores attack you, and since I don't have a lot of health as it is, I could just get one shot by them. So I am like already terrified constantly during this run, especially with no add-ons, because I can't predict what's gonna happen. Mm-hmm. That's the real unfortunate part.
Fun fact on old routes of Zora 2 here, we actually used to do an intentional cart.
Old strats, yeah, used to have an intentional cart to get up to a barrier so you could shoot some cannons. But now we don't do that because we found that it's faster, and there is a minute time save breaking a horn on Nergigante here, which we don't need to do because we aren't going into the next part of the game. So this is a magma core. I'm going to count damage here. 20, 60, so that's 80. 20, 60, 120, 140, 240, so 250 into combo. So 4 combos, okay.
Yeah. He's making sure to count the damage here because, like we said earlier, we don't.
Oh my goodness, that is my entire health bar.
Oh my.
Here, let's just stand over here.
We actually did just get a donation. Do I have time to read it?
Sure. Yeah, go for it.
All right, because we got $20 from Green Speed saying, "Good job being speedy, Bagel. Good luck in the eternal hellscape."
Thanks, Green.
Thank you, Green. Yeah, Green Speed's been putting in a lot of work learning this game and finding faster things. Pretty much stuff that we assumed was faster isn't, and strategies that, oh my gosh, it did a quarter of my health. Also, my cat is going nuts. He's living his best life right now.
Oh god, Bo, don't ruin the run.
He already got tangled up in the split pedal once. I'm a little behind here because I got hit by that. So we're going to lose a little bit of time here, but let's see if I can snipe these from down here. That's one. I need to hit one more. It's a pretty generous hitbox, but I hit it a little late. I might get 2 staggers here, but that's fine. Not really worried about it.
Yeah, so normally you'd want to drop these rocks at about the same time, so that...
Yeah, see, I got 2 flinches.
Yeah, so you don't get 2 flinches, but getting the damage is important, so...
Oh! Oh, okay. We're good. Honestly, we're good. 1. Yeah, so this combo was like 250. Oh, that did not do as much damage as it did to the last one. Like 2.5. 3.5, maybe? Let's do one more. I have a lot of time until the next place I need to be. Monka? Alright! So yeah.
That's $50?
Yep. That's $50. Like I said, my health doesn't exist, and just getting hit, we die. Mm-hmm. But that's not much of a time loss. I had to actually be out here anyways. So I'll do an old strategy. Mm-hmm. Since that was an ID. That was my intentional death.
Yeah, that was actually where you would normally card on purpose.
Wait, where's the... Oh gosh, I can't find the ballista.
Yeah. So right here, he's charging a power and he stopped moving, so you want to hit a stalactite that's on this side.
We missed that entirely, but I still want the damage, so this is going to be a little bit slower, but I'll take it.
Yeah. Normally you want to stagger him out of that. volcano.
And now I need to get him back onto his back. And I'm trying to remember where this is going to put me in relation to where I'm going. Oh, I'm going to be right next to where I need to be. All right, cool. I'm like literally going to be right next to where I want to be. Oh, I take it all back. I am not where I want to be at all. I'm just going to go up to the front of Zora and not do the... Oh my gosh, he's trying to murder me. You can also see what I was saying about the hitboxes, is that some of them aren't amazing. And because I have no health here, I can actually check. What are you doing? He's going nuts. Oh, he got... He has a catnip toy. Now this all makes sense. He's living his best life, though.
Yeah, so we're just getting in position to fight Nergigante.
Remember when I said I had 100 defense? I have 39 defense. This all is beginning to make sense. Oh yeah, it was close.
So, just like before, we were pre-placing bombs so that Nergigante will jump into them this time.
Yep, and I got 3 dunk pods. Good. So I'm going to try to bait a jump here from Nergi. He's going to hit these bombs, and the bombs will stagger him. During that stagger, it gives me an opening to Clutch Claw onto his head and wallbang him into Zora Madros. When that happens, it'll give me an opening so I can attack his head. Ideally, if I was doing the full speedrun here, I would want to get a Horn Break, which saves on track gathering, which is a very stupid mechanic they added to this game. Grab. Sketchy, but we're good. And then chargeable level 3. 1, 2, 3. And then a roar. I hit an arm there instead. Ow. Oh! Go stand over here and heal. I've already dealt enough damage to make him transition, but I want to deal a little bit more just to be safe.
So after Nerg transitions here and Zora Magdaros is going to stand up, Bale's going to go over to a specific rock on the side of Zora Magdaros. And normally when you hit them, they're supposed to break after a short amount of time. But what we found out is, for whatever reason, when he is standing up on like this, if you hit that rock, it has 10 times the health it's supposed to.
I honestly think it just can't break.
I have broken it before. It can break.
Oh, you have? Oh,
I have.
Goodness.
Yeah. It just has 10 times the health here. So we can just lay into this thing and do extra damage for free, which normally you're not supposed to be able to do.
Yeah, this is Rock Friend.
Yeah. Just silvered actually by me, but on accident, playing too casually.
On accident.
Yep.
Alright. The last magma core we can actually break after a specific after a specific line. I am terrified of this one because it's also the smallest room. I'm gonna debate this magma core. Oh my gosh, it didn't go off. Okay, we're ahead on damage. That's good. Actually, had to carve up here too to waste some time, so I can actually break this one down here. I mean, I can literally just die to this thing again. I am within one-shot threshold. It will just kill me. So I just really have to be careful, which that wasn't careful. I'm gonna call that 1, 2. 3. Get the hell away from it. Alright, we can hit it for a second. But luckily, the explosions come in cycles, so I know I can just wait for the next cycle. And then I have an opening again. Yep.
Yeah, so after a little bit, Zora's gonna reach the barrier, and once we reach the barrier, we're entering the last part of the speedrun, which is just firing cannons at him, and at that point, it's pretty much impossible to guard.
And yet, some way, I'll find a way. I'm just waiting for this last line so I can actually hit it. There it is. And I broke it, which is perfectly fine. So we're already transitioning. I might have broken it a little early, actually. I take it back. This isn't the best Zora 2. But it's also just, like, not easy to... Oh, nope. We transitioned at the right time. Good.
And
Just to a weird spot, and we're just going to jump off. And it puts us back over here. It's just faster than running over here. I kid you not. So now, yeah, we're like I said, we're in the last part. Time is coming up, but in probably about like 2 or 3 minutes. So just be close to it. We luckily have a audio trigger, but time ends when the cutscene starts. So when you see that, you know, you can do time, and I'll also try to call it. I usually forget because this isn't normally where I end the speed run.
Mm-hmm. Just yell split, and then that will be good.
Split.
Because you're used to splitting here, so, you know, just do that.
Yeah. But I see like Green and Ellie talking about this because they're saying that I'm on a world record pace for this. That I'm like really ahead. It's because I didn't do like any of the extra gathering that I would normally do for a Xeno percent, because this is a partial any percent. So now I just wait here. The last like thing that is required for this mission to end is the barrier health to be displayed. And I am just waiting for that to display. 1, 2. And I can shoot this now. Dragon Air does a lot of damage. It's that big harpoon. And then I just unload. So earlier I made a pair of legs that have the skill Heavy Artillery. It makes our bombs do more damage. It's plus 90 damage. So instead of doing 180, they do 270. And then now I'm just trying to load these up and end the quest as fast as possible. Looks like we're going to have 2 full cannons, maybe 2.5, until the quest ends. Because all of the callouts from the NPCs here are scripted to the health of the monster. So we're going to shoot this one. While we've been doing that, the other guy's been loading this one. So it's at 3, and we'll put 4 and 5 into it. And then I think we'll be 3 cannons off. What's really nice about this one is I can just stand here. I am a full cannon off. So we'll put all of this in. Wow, yeah, we were a full cannon. Oh, there it is. Time is coming up. And time.
Nice.
All right. Yeah.
GG.
Yeah. 10 minutes underestimate. Let's go, Bagel.
Was it 10 minutes under?
Yeah, pretty much.
Let's
Yeah, we got it
go.
updated to 2 hours and
Okay.
55 minutes, and you're at 2 minutes and 45, so that was pretty much perfect to the original estimate you gave us.
Yeah, I cut a lot of additional movement out, which saved us a lot of time because it's just unnecessary when we're only doing the Zora 2 portion. But yeah, that is in fact a world record, a 6-minute world record, because I just never done just the Zora 2 add-ons before and cut out all of the extra gathering. So cool, world record.
That is awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Do you have any shoutouts or anything you want to do at the end of that?
Mostly just to my amazing community for being here and being a part of this. I know for some of you it was really early, and for others of you it was like the optimal time in the day. So thank you, Gig. Thank you also for waking up at awful o'clock in the morning to do this with me.
Yeah, 4 a.m. It was worth it.
Yeah. And like I said, if you guys are interested in this, you can find the Monster Hunter series on speedrun.com, and we have speedrun leaderboards for every game. People are kind of running all of them right now, like 1 or 2 people. But if you're interested in them and you want to speedrun this game, or even if you just want to play this game, you know, we have a great speedrun community for that as well, and even casual community. Even if it's something you're interested in, especially with Rise coming out next weekend. But yeah, thank you guys for having me. I really do appreciate it. I'm really glad I got to showcase my actual favorite video game.
It was definitely a pleasure. Thank you so much for coming by and showing this to us. We're going to get it ready to set up for the next run now, which is a Stargate by String Bean Strings. So if that's something you want to see, make sure to stick around.